Here we are, yet again.
Yet again, yet again, yet again.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't actually talked in a while, just because it's been a week for both of us, probably.
No, we did.
Did we?
Well, we like on like Discord and stuff. But
Hmm.
and in the chat when I was OGing
Oh yeah.
and when we realized the giant oversight in the promo video.
True.
That was Thursday.
That was Thursday. That was funny though, because it took me no, it didn't take me long to edit the channel trailer. If you haven't seen it, it's live now. I don't know. Are we officially podcasting right now, or are we just friending right now? I
I
can
don't
never
know. It's
tell.
we're all recording, so I have no idea.
Okay, we'll figure out where we cut in and out.
Yeah.
But no, I was editing the video, and I was looking for clips. I'm like, oh, this will be good. This will be good. Cool. And it didn't even pass my brain that we didn't mention the Discord when we pre-recorded all that stuff, and I'm editing it together. And then I post it to YouTube. It's good to go. Looks nice. You got the approval from your end. We're like, cool, good to go. And then out of nowhere, you text me, yo, ... and I'm like, fuck, what did I misspell?
Oh yeah. You
What
didn't
did I
do anything
mess
wrong.
up? And then we never mentioned the Discord,
It's
which is,
which wouldn't necessarily be a huge deal, but we talked about how we wanted to use it to fuel the Discord all the
yeah,
way up till we recorded it.
true. I mean, it's fine. I mean, we already have, technically, we've had people join over the past month. 2 people new have joined.
Mm-hmm.
While they're friends of friends, that's how, people join in and we grow, which is
Right.
cool. So welcome, you guys. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a time, man. This weekend has just been something else, to say the least. I told a kid to shut the fuck up yesterday
Oh yeah, you did mention
in
that.
public. Yeah.
That you said that's what you said. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Uh in hindsight, here's the thing. I'm an adult. We can all kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Um
By definition,
by definition, technically.
yes.
But I guess I'll just tell the story of it, because in context of just saying I just told a kid to shut the fuck up doesn't
Mhm.
really help. But we were at a lacrosse game, and if you don't know anything about lacrosse, it's pretty much, imagine hockey but with sticks that have nets on them, as opposed to a hockey stick, and you're
Mhm.
shooting a ball into a net. And it was an indoor lacrosse game. The game originates from Native Americans.
Mhm.
They played it, back in the day before Britain was all like, yo, colonize, and did some fucked up shit.
Let's get that.
Yeah, some fucked up, stuff. So there's a lot of Native Americans that play on teams. Specifically, there's a group of brothers in this family called the Thompson brothers.
Mhm.
Very well known in the sport because they're just fucking insane and really, really good. But this kid in front of me at the game, and to be fair, the Thompson was on the opposite team.
Right.
Just keep that in mind. And he has a long Native American braid, because they all do, because it's part of the culture,
Mhm.
and it's, something they do to honor their heritage.
Right.
And this kid just keeps saying, cut your fucking hair. And I'm like, this is a bad time.
Mhm.
Because when they first came back in 2 years ago, I think it was, before COVID, to 2019,
Mhm.
there was an issue with this happening then.
Oh really?
Yes. So people were saying they took it a little bit more extreme than this kid was, where the kid was saying just cut your hair, but people were saying scalp them and shit like that,
Oh shit.
which was really fucked up. So they started playing video packages to show people, hey, this is where the game comes from and shit like that, which was good. And then it stopped, and it was nice, but they stopped showing those.
Mhm.
So this younger generation, these fucking kids, and to be fair, this kid was definitely in middle school,
Mhm.
so I don't really care. They kept saying it, and then I just got frustrated and mad. I just said, shut the fuck up. Just blatantly. Not even directed at him per se. It was just
At the situation, just out.
yeah, just
Yeah.
out loud. And then
Yeah.
the kid looks at me, and I see he looks at me. I'm like, yes, you. Shut the fuck up. Get some respect. Learn where this game comes from. You can't
Right.
say that. That's fucked up. And then the mother, at first, I don't think the mother that was next to him realized what was happening at first. She had just had like a shit ass grin on her face while not wearing her mask at the Wells Fargo Center, which now requires you to wear your mask.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, and I just like, I look away because I'm like, it's whatever, I don't care. And she's like, really? You're bullying my kid? You're bullying him? You're an adult and you're telling a kid to shut the fuck up? Oh my God, how dare you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't fucking care, yo. Your kid's racist. like
learn that kid something.
Exactly. Like, and here's the thing. In hindsight, let's go hindsight style. Could I have informed this unknowing child of what he was saying was racist in a kind manner? Yes. Has this been happening for weeks and he hasn't learned? Yes. So I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, kid. I don't know if the kid will ever listen to this podcast, but whatever. But it's also an avid listener, and now not anymore.
It's just him shooting a YouTube video talking about us while flossing.
Pretty much. No, but ironically, after that, kid shut the fuck up. Didn't say another thing like that again. Oh yeah, 100%. It was ironic too because the mother walked away for a long period of time during the game, and I was like, I hope that you go to customer service, Karen, and I hope that you try to like, oh, this guy told my kid to shut the fuck up, and then you try to explain the situation further, and they're like, well, why would he say that? And you're like, well, he was telling one of the players to cut their hair. And then that's when it's immediate like, oh, so you just self-reported yourself and you did something racist. Exactly. Because ironically, and here's the kicker. Not only was the game for, it was superhero night, but it was like first responders and nurses, which I get it.
Yeah.
To me, they're more just heroes. Like, they're heroes because superheroes is a fiction and like they're real, so they're heroes. That's my mindset, but I'm not going to be that guy at the event.
Actually.
Yeah. I'm not going to push up my glasses and be like, well, actually, you see, they don't have superpowers, but I'll digress from that. They also showed a video package for like some Native American thing that happened. And I'm not fully in the know of all the situations of their community because I'm not in it. But apparently there was like some like thing where this was honoring like dead, fallen Native American children or something that last night as well. And I'm like, so not only are you being racist at this game for no reason, you're doing it on a night where it's meant to like honor and remember, and then you're also doing it blatantly in the first row.
Yeah, wow.
So I'm like, I'll say something, and I'm gonna be rude about it because fuck it. I don't care. I don't go around telling kids to shut the fuck up often. So, you know, I get one a year, I think. And I used it early this year.
Not all heroes wear capes, and you are a hero.
No, not at all. No, not at all. I just spoke up for a kid that was a fucking piece of shit.
Hey, Chris.
What's up?
What you drinking?
Drinking a DC. That's what heroes drink, don't you know, DC?
True. I'm sure that's...
No, I needed something, man. I need some flavor in my life because I've been drinking water all day.
Nah, you're right. I had to. Because while you're talking, I just see this. I'm like, oh, the nectar.
There it is. The silver and red. There is the can.
Those are the colors I salute.
Those are my heroes. That's my superhero right there. I don't even know the company that makes Coke. What's the company that makes Coke?
Coke. I thought they were the
company
top
name.
I thought because everything else under them in the same company, they're Coke products, right?
I guess, yeah, true. Isn't Mountain Dew that? Or no, Mountain Dew's Pepsi product, right?
Mountain Dew's Pepsi, yeah.
What is Coke's equivalent to Mountain Dew?
Do they have one?
I don't know. That's what I'm just... Because, like...
Who has Sprite? Is that Pepsi?
I don't know. I think Sprite might be a Coke. Because if you look at the logo design... and plus, if you go to Galaxy's Edge in Batu East, they have these little, like, bottles for, like, soda and shit. And they look like grenades from the Star Wars universe. And they have regular Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite. So...
Okay, so then
By doing that, they have to be that. But I don't feel like Sprite compares to Mountain
Coke.
Dew. And
Coke is Coke, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, uh, Core Power. I guess that's a protein shake. Vitamin water, Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. Didn't know that. Fanta, Gold Peak, Smart Water, Minute Maid, Powerade. In this picture, anyway.
but
Simply,
like,
all that shit.
do you think Sprite is on the same level as Mountain Dew though? Like, as like a competitor?
Sprite's
As
pretty. It's up there.
yeah,
It's a
but
go-to
like
soda.
it's a go-to. But like, you got Mountain Dew, right? But then you got Mountain Dew other flavors. You got Mountain Dew Code Red. You got Mountain Dew High Voltage. You got that orange one that made a comeback, Live Wire.
But
right?
are all of these flavors more? I'm not arguing which is better, but are all these flavors more of a go-to and a staple than Sprite? Now, I can see you arguing just regular ass Mountain Dew.
I feel like regular ass Mountain Dew is the weakest of them all, though. Like in like not necessarily in the staple sense, but in the sense of like, I would rather have a Code Red than a regular Mountain Dew.
I'd rather have a
rather
Code Red. What's the white one?
White Out. That one's good.
That one's good as hell.
Dude, and then we're also forgetting the champion of all Mountain Dew, which is exclusive to one place only, Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, Taco
Baja
Bell
fucking
factor.
Blast, dude.
Mountain Dew might have it because Mountain Dew kind of is in other like markets.
Exactly. But like, then what's Sprite got? Do they got anything special flavor wise?
They did, but see, Mountain Dews kind of stick around. Sprite's kind of like they come every once in a while, then they're just gone, and it's back to regular Sprite.
Goddamn. Sprite slacking.
It is. The Sprite could poke out their chest though and just be like, "Yeah, we're Sprite though. Like we just like."
But we're Sprite. We smell like a bag of Fruity Pebbles right before you pour in the milk.
We're here to stay. We're a staple at the top.
Hell yeah. That was a quote from the movie Kangaroo Jack, by the way. It's like a bowl of Fruity Pebbles right before you pour down the milk. Those berries that he eats. Remember that movie, Kangaroo Jack?
Never saw it.
You never saw Kangaroo Jack?
I have not. It was not in my must-watch list. What year did that come out?
I have no idea. The crazy part is the kangaroo parts of Kangaroo Jack were about as much as the Pink Panther parts in Pink Panther. Almost exclusively none.
2003.
Jesus Christ.
2003, I was a junior in high school. So I wasn't like actively seeking out Kangaroo Jack.
Why not, Ant? It was a classic.
How old was I in 03? What year is it? 2022. So that's about 19 years ago. So I was 14.
That's pretty good.
I wasn't like, yo, y'all trying to go see what's up with this Kangaroo Jack real quick?
Come on, man. Anthony Anderson was in it.
So
he's dope.
He didn't sell the kangaroo dream for me.
The kangaroo dream. Apparently Christopher Walken was in it, but I don't remember that at all. I could not even tell you the plot of this movie. Jesus. 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Kangaroo Jack. I'm sure that's how it went to the title thing.
All right, I'm going to read the plot to this. And like, I feel like this really shows the time of it. So 2 friends from Brooklyn are forced to deliver mob money to Australia.
All right.
Their misadventures begin with one of them places his red jacket on a kangaroo while attempting to snap a picture. When the kangaroo bounces off, they realize the mob money is in the jacket. And they are forced to give a chase through the outback to go get the money back for the mob to deliver it in Australia.
That entire description just screams of like, whoa,
yeah.
What are they gonna do now? I see.
It's literally like they had a plot of a regular mob movie. They're like, we're gonna have a movie where these guys have to deliver this money to Australia, but something's gonna go wrong. What could go wrong?
You could tell
it's Australia.
Yeah, they could tell they put no real thought into like how they got to the kangaroo. They just needed them to get to a kangaroo because it just is.
Exactly.
I see the same thing. It's two friends from Brooklyn are forced to deliver mob money to Australia. There are so many details missing in that one sentence.
Yeah. Ah, man. 2003 was a time of movies, man. It was just like either hot garbage or like the best shit ever.
Mm-hmm. I remember that era.
Yeah.
What else came out in
early 2000s?
Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions was 2003.
Looney Tunes back in action, baby.
Oh, that's how your shit came out. Hulk, Daredevil, Cat in the Hat, Finding Nemo.
X2.
Oh shit, that did come out. Terminator: Rise of the Machines 2, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Cradle to the Grave, Final Destination 2, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Bruce Almighty came out as well.
Oh shit.
Daddy
The Rundown
Daycare
came out. The Rock.
Damn, man. Holes. 2003 was the year for movies, man. As far as I'm concerned, 2003. Bad Boys 2 came out as well, bruh.
Oh, that's a big one.
Italian the first, Job. It's the second. Charlie's Angels. Never mind. We don't talk about that.
We don't?
No, we don't.
Oh, I didn't know.
Agent Cody Banks.
I remember that vaguely.
Do you remember Shanghai Nights?
I do, because I went to go see it. I remember seeing that.
Yo, do you know the movie Duplex?
Nope.
I swear to God, this movie was on in my home so fucking much. And I don't know why. It was fucking Ben Stiller and Drew Barrymore, and they move into a duplex. And the end. And the owner is like an old lady who lives, I think, above them or some shit. And like the old lady is just like terrible on purpose to like test their relationship or some shit. And it's bad. It's very, very bad.
That was an era though where you could be at home and a shitty movie will just come on like cable or something, and you just watch it just because it's there.
Yeah. So I just quickly skimmed the description of the movie Duplex. I was wrong. The old lady doesn't own the duplex. She lives there, and it's impossible for her to get evicted because she knows the owner, and she's annoying the new couple that moved in. So the couple need to find more permanent measures to get rid of her. It's a movie about them trying to kill this old woman. And I just remembered this. It's just Ben Stiller and Drew Barrymore.
What's it rated?
Doing this. It's just a rated PG-13.
You know, this was an era of like the PG-13 movie that really doesn't have plot, but it has plot. Like it has no plot, but it's very loose and it can go anywhere.
And it sometimes walks that line of like, is this okay?
Yeah.
It's not, right? It's not. We're not going to come back to this and talk about it ever, but we're just going to like move past it.
What's worse is that era where it was just a bunch of loose plot hole filled cash grab movies, or the era now where there's so much shit coming out at one time that you can't keep up with it, like the Netflix era where there's just movies on movies on movies.
See, I don't even know if I can compare them, just because I feel like today's era is more about just Netflix in general. Because like these are all like movies you go to the movie theater to see, and like these are events and trailers like actually made you want to go see movies back in the day. Nowadays, the only movies you want to go see in theaters are sequels, reboots, or superhero movies.
Yeah.
Those are the three. Other than that, I don't think I've been to a movie theater in a while to just see a movie.
Yeah, no, me too.
So like that's the crazy part. Every single thing that's listed, you had to go to the fucking theater.
You're right.
And see every single thing, which is crazy. I miss that time of year. You know, like everything was an event as opposed to just waiting 6 months at a time for the next big superhero flick that has too much fucking money on it.
Yeah. Now when you go to the movies, it's like, well, is it worth it? I'm only going to the movies if it's worth it.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know.
If it's $1 billion production.
If it has more than $1 billion in the production and all the actors are A-list actors from a
Yeah,
movie I saw last fucking month, that's
right.
the only way I'll see it. God damn. Uncharted's gonna suck. I'm sorry. It just made me think of that. I was like, I just saw Spider-Man, and that was great. And then in the trailer, like the movie trailers for it, was
Mhm.
Uncharted. And it doesn't look good. I'm sorry, but
It looks
like,
very. It's fucked up because I haven't seen the movie, obviously, but it looks
yeah,
like lazy. It's like, is this Uncharted really, or is this just like, or could this have been anyone doing this plot?
yeah,
Is it just another lazier Indiana Jones esque movie, or like, because besides the obvious Uncharted scene with the plane and it falling out the back of the plane and everything
mm-hmm,
from the game, it's like the rest of that trailer, I'm like, this could be anything.
yeah,
You could call
100%.
this anything without that extra scene, and I'm like, fine. You're like
Sure,
Spy Capers 2. Like, all right, that looks like Spy Capers 2.
sure. Ham Talon 2.
Yeah, right. Tom Holland is Mystery Raiders. Like, all right.
They could have done like James Bond Jr. or something. Wasn't that like a cartoon back in the day too?
Yeah.
Like they could have done that.
He
Just
tried to do that. You read that article? Or you saw
is
the
that what
headline?
I saw the headline where it was like he wanted to do James Bond Jr. and then they made this.
Yeah.
And like you should have made James Bond Jr.
Right. I
like
think that's honestly more interesting.
yeah, cuz then you get a fresh perspective on James Bond
And you
that's
have an A-list
different.
actor attached. You have the new hot
Yes.
A-list Tom Holland on it.
And you don't waste fucking Uncharted, a great franchise, and then be like, you know what'd be cool about Uncharted? If we took all the story concepts and we just made him a child
Right.
instead when he's supposed to be an adult. That would make it so much more fun.
I don't. He didn't need to be Nathan Drake.
Yeah. To be fair, he's not a child like Tom
Yeah.
Holland, but like at the same time, he's playing the child version of Nathan Drake. So it's like,
And you're giving this to me in the peak of the Spider-Man madness.
mm-hmm,
So I'm just looking at him and I see you. I see you're supposed to be someone else, but right now you are Peter Parker, dog. I'm
yeah,
sorry. I mean, that's a gift and a curse for certain actors because like I can see why he made that statement like I don't want to be Spider-Man when I'm 30, whatever.
yeah,
Because honestly, yeah, he's getting to that point where just like you play something else and like, nah, you're Spider-Man.
yeah.
That's who you are.
It's one of those things where it's like I hate to typecast him as that, but it's like I've seen his other movies, or at least
Mhm.
a couple of them, and they're not great. And I don't know if it's because of him per se.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily his fault. Like I watched what's it called? Chaos Walking
Mhm.
with him and Daisy Ridley.
Mhm.
Not is it Daisy Ridley? Is that what her name is? The
I don't
chick
know.
who played Rey in Star Wars.
I saw the movie. I mean, I didn't see the movie, but I saw like the trailer and stuff of the movie
Yeah.
you're talking about.
It was such a weird ham-fisted like concept where it was just like people from Earth went to go find another habitable planet. They went there, and when they landed, for some reason on this planet that's not explained, anybody who is of the male gender, their thoughts are said out loud
All
through
right.
like this cloud or whatever. And then like if they're thinking something and imagining something, it'll literally form in the clouds pretty much. And then Daisy shows up as like I think the second or third mission to like go make inhabitants or whatever.
Mhm.
And shit ensues where it's like, there's the clan of people that are all men who are like, oh yeah, the women are the reason why this is happening, blah blah blah, and they like kill off all the women, and then there's like a tribe down the road that's like run by women and is perfect because whatever,
Right.
and then yeah, it's a time, but it wasn't good at all. It just ends too, like it like at the very ending, it's just like okay, all that happened, cool. And then Tom Holland wakes up after the situation occurs, and then fucking Ray is there, and
Mhm.
then Tom Holland's like, "Are we gonna kiss?" And she's like, "No, we're friends. That's it." And then it just ends.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, Tom, You're getting fucked right now.
That's hard, man. It's a hard position to be in. Like you said, I don't blame him because it's like you have to come. Eventually, you'll have to go to other directors and other studios, and it's just like you're coming from where all pistons are firing. You have the top notch of the people in Hollywood. You're at the top of the top of the top, getting the top of the top money and exposure and media and everything. And then you have to. All he can do is like take a chance to jump over and do something else elsewhere, hoping that it garners that same. He's going to have to like. He's been put in a position where he's going to have to carry that clout that he's gained.
Oh yeah.
He's going to have to sell something, which would lead back to your original point, and they should have let him do the James Bond Jr. movie. He could have started a whole new trajectory, a little mini series of that.
Yeah, that would have been dope too, because then you get away from James Bond after that just ended. So you're chilling with this guy now for like 5-10 years maybe, and then after that we could come in and we can get a better James Bond. Like, let's get Idris Elba as James Bond, like everyone wanted. Or I don't know, who else would be a good James Bond besides Idris Elba? Mahershala Ali. He'd be good.
It'd be good. I'm trying to really think of who can be James Bond. Who's a younger?
What about the dude who played Kang at the end of Loki? I don't know what his name is.
He's a really good actor. I always forget his name too.
He's he was in that movie that was just on Netflix. It was fucking dope. The cowboy one.
Yeah, that was good.
Dude, that movie
was dope as hell. I forgot what it's called.
I hate that I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna bold statement now, even though I don't remember the name of it. It beats out Django for me. Like, it was a better movie than Django all round. It was so fucking good. I was entertained the whole time.
It was entertaining as hell. We watched it. When was that? It was around Thanksgiving or something where me and Adrian watched it. But it was really good. You know who could play Jamie Foxx? Jamie Foxx. You know who could play Bond? It was Jamie Foxx. Was gonna say.
You know who could play Jamie Foxx? Tom Holland.
That'd be hilarious.
In the Jamie Foxx biopic.
I think but not that he hasn't been in serious roles before, but if you like serious out like a Jamie Foxx, he can be Bond to me.
Oh, 100%. That would work entirely. I would love that. I feel like it'd be cool to get another James Bond video game as well. Just because, like, I feel like the only one that comes to mind when you say that is like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
But and apparently that's in talks that it'd be making a comeback soon, a rebooted version of it, or a remake rather. But
because one got canceled, they brought it back.
Yeah.
And they leaked all the screenshots and trophies and stuff.
Yeah. I could see that happening. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But even making a new Bond game and making it successful is the hard part. Because even though compared to games now, it's shitty, GoldenEye.
Yeah.
But that game holds so much fucking weight in the video game ecosystem that
just
every time they try to
make
a Bond game, they just be like, well, it's not GoldenEye. Well, of course it's not Golden. It can't be.
Yeah. I also feel like, no offense to GoldenEye, but like it's a shitty first-person shooter just because it didn't have the technology to be a first-person shooter at the time. It did what it could, but like I don't even feel like if you make a James Bond game now, it would even be a shooter, like per se. It would be more like espionage-based, or like it would almost be like a Hitman games, but like
it would have to
better.
be Hitman.
Yeah.
But then like it would have to be better because Hitman is already Hitman and owns that spot in video games.
I feel like it would be Hitman, but more dialogue based. Like, yeah, you can do all like the assassinations, and you can do like I spike a drink with something, or I do, but you have like gadgets, and you have to talk to people to find out information to get to the right people, get more information to further the plot and whatnot, and be suave and sophisticated and shit like that. I feel like that'd be a much more fun time than while Hitman's fun because it's literally just like, hey, go sandbox, kill people, like James Bond would be just like this open world where you have to like solve crime and like
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be like one overarching one, but like you could also just do multiple mini missions where it's like almost like a mini clip game where it's like, oh, you have to go find this person and do this with that person and go successfully do it in this small building map, and then boom, you're done.
It would have to be Hitman, but mixed with like Grand Theft
Payday.
Auto. Because he also has those high intense action scenes in his movie, like where you're
True.
racing and jumping through things and sports car. Like he would need that, those parts of those movies.
Yeah. To be fair, James Bond movies nowadays are just car commercials.
Mm.
They're just like, hey, check out this new thing coming out for all you rich bougie assholes.
Right.
But
The Jaguar Expensicon. It's his most expensive ass car.
with new rotary machine guns in the headlights for all
Right.
the fucking simpleton 99%.
Oh, they don't need
Get
to
them
do
off
that.
the road.
Don't do that, because then there'll just be a bunch of fucking ignorant ass rappers. Like, yo, I got that new James Bond whip, dog, with the guns and the lights. Like, all right, fam, don't do that shit.
With the guns and the lights, man.
I ride this shit around in my video. We packed like 9 bitches in that car. Like, that's dangerous. There's guns in there.
There are live rounds in your vehicle, sir.
Don't do that. They're
You
setting
know why I
up for
pulled you
failure.
over today? Yes, because you have live rounds in your headlights.
No, this that James Bond shit, though. You not lit. That's why you don't. You why you hating on me? Like, no, he's not hating. This isn't any kind of racial profiling. You're just a moron who bought a dangerous car and packed 10 people into it.
It came with this watch that has a laser. Look, melts the guy's head off.
Oh shit!
You might have been right.
Let me shut down my live. He's on Instagram Live doing it all.
Shut down the evidence.
Yeah. The whole world already screen recorded it.
That's a whole game in and of itself. Shit.
Today, just then, what's a stupid rapper name? Lil Cash Money was arrested. Lil Jesus was arrested for driving around in the James Bond mobile. He, quote, had 10 bitches packed in here and melted a cop's head. More
Sounds about
details at
right.
11.
Year 2023.
Yeah,
Coming
right.
soon to a theater near you. Starring Tom Holland.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, what's up, man? Little Jesus. Got to...
Tom Holland should portray little Jesus in the live action representation of that SoundCloud rapper's life.
Yep. For those who don't know, we're not being blasphemous or ignorant. It's a previous episode where we talked about and played Lil Jesus music on SoundCloud.
And I feel like you're being a little generous here too, because you said we played. Someone decided, oh, let's just unwarrantedly play this SoundCloud rapper out loud on microphone.
Yeah, fuck him.
And it got real racist real fast.
Real racist real fast.
Yeah.
By us, of course. But
no, not at all. I was
question.
fucking terrified. I was like, oh, we're going to have to re-record this whole thing.
Nah, keep that shit.
Yeah. It was a time. Fuck.
I almost forgot about that.
I almost did too until you brought up what's the stupid rapper name, and then it straight to the front of the brain. Yeah. It just fucking came back, and I had PTSD all over again.
Got this James Bond shit, dog. Motherfucking guns and the lights. Y'all ain't got this. I spent $5 million. Like, you're an idiot.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I think it's time to start the show about games.
Let's do that.
Oh, God. This shit. Mr. Bean in Cyberpunk 2077.
I saw that. It's a fucking mod.
I hate that so much.
Mr. Bean.
Is it a mod or is it literally just video of Mr. Bean
The way when I read it, it was a thing that said mod puts Mr. Bean in Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah. I see what it is. That you're using mods to like capture the scenes in like specific ways, and then putting Mr. Bean in it. That's the game we need. We need a Mr. Bean game.
We do.
That would be bad.
It's overdue. Make Mr. Bean 007. Didn't Mr. Bean have a movie where he was like a secret agent?
Yeah. It might have been a Mr. Bean movie.
No, I remember the Mr. Bean movie, but there was also a movie where the actor, was playing. He was like a secret agent.
Yo, what's that actor's name?
Oh, fuck. Something Atkinson?
Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah.
I found it immediately.
I'm about to say, it's gotta pop up.
It's a 2003 movie.
It is? 2003, you son of a bitch.
It is called Johnny English.
Yeah, that's a fake ass 007 name if I ever heard one.
Yup. Oh. I can't even fucking comment on it any further because that's just so. It makes its own jokes. I don't need to.
It does.
I think it's you this week.
All right. Man.
Oh, well, up.
Sidebar: these call drops don't work. They are bullshit. Ricola trash. Anyway,
we're never getting sponsored by Ricola now.
I'll cut that out. I won't. By the time they want to sponsor us,
do you want to be?
Huh?
Do you want to be, since they don't work?
If they're sponsoring us with money, sure. And I don't want them to be like, you have a lifetime supply. If we're like, no, never mind.
We could just sell cough drops on the street.
Cough drops aren't that expensive. I don't need you to supply me with a lifetime supply. Okay. Level up, gamers, and welcome back to Save Before Quitting podcast. I'm Ant.
And I'm Chris.
Thank you for joining us for another week of whatever this show has become with video games. Whatever the show has become plus video games somewhere in there.
I feel like it's whenever we're not in person, it gets more off the rails just because we don't have that time to like be off the rails prior, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
I promise y'all that this show is going to go back to normal.
Oh yeah, soon enough.
Yeah, but as always, save letter B #4 quitting on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and you can find us on YouTube. That is TITTY. That is titty round titty. No, evil titties too. Also, save before quitting, all the way spelled out, at gmail.com, or save before quitting, all the way spelled out.com. If you would like to go to our website, get some merch, everything we already talked about, the titty stuff is all on there. I mean, there's no real.
You can find titties on our website. Apparently.
You can find titties in terms of the sites we talked about before on savebeforequitting.com, or email us at savebeforequitting.com, savebeforequitting at gmail.com. You can also find us on Discord, ladies and gentlemen.
Because we forgot to talk about it in the channel trailer.
Yeah, we made a channel trailer.
Which came out pretty good.
Came out really good. And if you've been following our YouTube, it's on there. We got to put it everywhere else. But at the same time, I mean, I'm sure by the time this episode comes out, it'll be in different places. But
hopefully, if I remember to do it.
Listen, I mean,
yeah.
The reason I bring that up is because we were laughing because we failed to advertise the Discord in that promo because, we're us.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I think that's the best explanation.
And the only time I bring it, the only reason I bring that up is because I just thought it was funny that we're like, all right, we're going to make this promo video. We got to highlight the Discord. We want to get some more people to join the Discord. We got to get them to join the Discord. We kept bringing up Discord specifically. and then made this video and never brought up Discord one time.
Yeah. It wasn't even in the raw footage at all, which
No,
is
it
the
wasn't.
crazy part. I was sad about it because when we recorded at your place, we turned the microphones off on Streamlabs. So you edited the audio and it was like this short little, like, 1-ish minute blurb, but all the rest of the audio,
7 minutes.
yeah. And I'm like, there's such good moments that I remember from this, like the moment where I said something and I look over to you and I'm just like, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And
I still have it. I have the full
I
one.
figured as much, but I started doing it since we're digital now. I record the audio on the video as well, and then it actually is easier to match up the audio. So we'll probably do that once we're back in person.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I decided to not do that. And I was more focused on like, let's snap, and that's how we do it. When I could have just been like, no, we'll just have 2 audios going, and then I can overlay the sound waves, which are the fucking same.
Yeah, you put it right over it.
I literally did that the other day. I was like, oh, the shapes are the same. And I'm like, oh, obviously they are. What the fuck? I'm an idiot.
Same words.
Exactly.
Same recording.
Like, there'll be a part where, like, you cut out a little bit. And I'm like, oh, our mouths aren't, like, matching anymore. But then I was doing it fucking at home for the past week or so. And I'm editing it. And I'm like, oh, ain't cut out that part. Easy fix. Because, like, I hear both of the audios going at the same time. And there's just, like, a break. And I'm like, this is easier. I get it done faster, and I can add more memes. That's how that works.
True. But that would be fun. Now that I think about it, I should send you the full audio. We can make like a blooper reel.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
If we had like a blooper reel. I mean, to be fair, most of the bloopers actually happen during the recording, and we just leave it on.
True. I just meant for that promo video. But yes, for those who... There's most bloopers, quote unquote, that happen on the podcast are left in there.
Yeah.
There's not a whole, unless they just take way too long and there's too much of a downtime, I'll cut it out. But a lot of the bullshit is left here. Or I'll cut out a part of it, but the main blooper we leave for people to laugh at us. Like last week where I almost choked and died before.
Yeah, that was funny as shit. Dude, the face you made was great.
I could not. I tried to like work over it. Like, all right, it'll subside. I mean, as I talk. Nope. It just got stronger.
Oh man. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm. It is. I'm good. I promise I'm all right. I'm much better than last week. I don't need like the hot tea. I can actually just talk.
Nice.
I got these whack ass Rico live cough drops though.
Rico
garbage.
But yeah, we'll see what happens next time we're together. I gotta try and get you on the VR shit because I have been playing so much VR over the past week. It's pretty much been exclusively VR except for like a little bit of Halo on the side, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But goddamn, man, this VR is it's nice.
Every time I see you on it, it looks good. You might as well keep going. What'd you play this week, Chris?
What I played this week is VR. No, specifically, I picked up. I had this game last week, but I just had the base version of the game called Blade and Sorcery. It's literally just a sandbox game where enemies spawn in waves and you just fight them with blades and sorcery.
That's in the name.
It's literally that. It's the simplest thing. It is an alpha, which is ironic because it's probably one of the most popular sandbox games there are on VR, in my opinion. And then I recently discovered, I thought that you could only mod the version that you buy on Steam because I bought it on the Oculus store. But I was, digging around in the files of the Oculus program that I have, and I found a mods folder in the Oculus port. So I'm like, oh, I can mod this shit. This is dope. So I went to the website where everyone gets their mods, and I found specifically a Star Wars one called The Outer Rim, which literally it adds all the assets to the book of like weapons of every single lightsaber in existence from any character that you could think of. It's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not only do they have Yoda, they have Yaddle.
Who the fuck is that?
Exactly. That's the point. They have Yaddle's lightsaber. Look up a picture of Yaddle, you'll be disappointed. Anyway, but like you have all of these lightsabers, you have every single blaster from Star Wars. You could have Han Solo's blaster, you could have Rey's little dinky blaster from the sequels, you could have the rotary cannon and whatnot. And they're all customizable too, where with the blasters you can change the color of the blasts, which in universe is pretty much just like whatever material it's used to make the energy or whatever, but it doesn't really change anything in game. It's just color,
right?
And you just take this thing, you stick it in the barrel of the gun, and it makes this little noise, and then it changes the color of your blast. And then you could also go to a kyber crystal menu, where the little crystals that go in lightsabers, that's what gives them their power. And you get this little tool that looks like a screwdriver. And if you take the tool and you hit the tip of your lightsaber, it'll knock out the kyber crystal that's in the actual saber, and it won't activate anymore.
This mod, this thing is detailed.
Then you could go to the kyber crystal menu and look up any color crystal. There's like the dark saber from Mando. There's like a couple from like video games and shit. And like you just grab the crystal, you put it in whatever lightsaber you knock the crystal out of, and then now that lightsaber is that color.
That's cool.
And
shit.
That sound and that effect and whatnot. And it's dope as fuck. There's also helmets that you can put on, which doesn't really matter when you're in first person, but like
in VR.
There's things that you can do where like if I wanted to, I could completely turn off my camera in game, like this camera, and I could make a digital camera looking at me. And you can see me, and I can put on like Darth Vader's helmet, and my character is now wearing Darth Vader's helmet while I'm talking to you or whatever, and it's very cool to say the least. There's grenades and thermal detonators that I've added and shit, and then I also added it's a different mod from the one I wanted to use, where it's like you can web swing, but it's not like the best. And it's like energy webs instead of regular webs, because since I'm on the Oculus Store version, it automatically updates to the most recent version of the game, which is U10. And all of the mods are still getting upgraded from like U9 and U8. So there's some of them I tried to put in and I couldn't use because they're from U9, and it didn't make my game work anymore. It made it like unable to use. So I had to delete everything and then reinstall it. So that kind of sucked, but yeah, man, it's a learning process and it's fun. So there's that.
Dope.
But yeah, man, that game is cool. I also purchased. It's pretty much the same game but cartoony. It's called Gorn. Imagine you're in a coliseum and like all of these like giant muscly guys that look like The Rock on more steroids show up.
more
And you just get like these weapons that are kind of like floppy, but they're also swords, so it's like it's kind of cartoony. And you just have to go to battle with these guys and kill all the people in the Coliseum, and you're entertaining all these like floating heads that are like the show me what you got guys, but with like fancy mustaches and shit. It's a very interesting game. And it's ironic because that game, I was playing it and I was like sweating like really hard playing it, because you actually have to like tactically kill people and like try not to get hit. Because if you get hit one time, you start dying immediately. And the only way to stop the dying process is to kill someone. So like if you don't kill someone right away, you're pretty much like dead.
Kill or be killed.
Literally. And most of the time it's like 3v1. Or then you do like 3 or 4 rounds of 3v1 when you're introducing new weapons before the sandbox. And then there's a free-for-all where the gates just open and like 2 people start fighting each other over there. And then there's one guy that comes at you. And like you could, if you wanted to, just run away from the whole situation entirely. Which you also have to do this to run with your hand controls, which sucks. As opposed to just holding on the thumbstick for every other game I've played. but it's a time. I sweat my ass off with it. That one's probably one that I'll to have you try to play more than Blade and Sorcery. Because Blade and Sorcery is okay. What else did I play? I also played. I just got it today. It's a game called Boneworks.
Mhm.
It's like the VR game, like the perfect VR game. If you have ever been on YouTube, you know the people from Corridor Digital that do all the VFX reacts and
Mhm.
whatnot like that. They have a branch of their company called Node, and they were making this video game called Boneworks for like years.
Mhm.
And it is probably the most like accurate VR game that you will ever play to like real to world physics, real world guns, and like you can literally like you have to stock your guns and like put the ammo in and pull it back and like everything like that. It's like there's sandbox areas. Apparently you can
Mhm.
mod that too, where you can make like you can web swing, you can be Deadpool, you can have powers and shit, but there's also a campaign that's kind of like Half-Life as well. That's kind of freaky. Like
Mhm.
I was playing it before I hopped on the call with you and I was playing the Blade and Sorcery for a bit, and it has this like ominous Portal 2 feel where like you feel like you're constantly being watched by like this big brother
Yeah.
entity, and like you just don't know what's around every corner, and it's weird because you're in VR, so like you really don't know what's around every corner, and it's kind of
That shit
scary.
could fuck with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and not only is it gonna fuck with you mentally, it's also fucking with you because like things are gonna jump out at you or whatnot. Like there's not necessarily like jump scares per se, but like these like humanoid characters that are like the workers of the world come out of random places, or like they're always turned off, but if you get close to them, they'll wake up, and
Right.
you don't know if they're gonna wake up or not. So in theory, you could go up and like knock them out before they wake up, or you could just completely avoid them in general. But it's pretty cool. The story is pretty freaky so far. It kind of seems portally and
Mhm.
half-lifey and scary all at the same time. But it's
It
overall
sounds fun.
enjoyable.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Trying to think if there's any other VR titles that I played. I don't think so.
Aw.
I can check with my actual library right now.
It's the one
Oh,
plus
I
about being
also
on Zoom.
I got super hot. I
Oh
got super hot VR.
yeah, the
So
game.
that game, it's cool because I had played it in VR previously,
Hmm.
and I'm kind of speed running it a bit just because I know it.
Hmm.
I love Super Hot so much. It's probably one of the best VR games that I've played just overall.
It's the one I hear
And
about a lot.
yeah, it also fucks with your head in a good way. Like it's a fun meta discussion, not Meta, the Facebook company, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I picked that up and I've been playing it off and on, and then I picked up a like a free beat maker thing
Hmm.
where it pretty much you have like this menu with a drum pad, a piano, a bunch of other stuff, and you could just make loops of beats over on like your left over here, and then you can like make a drum set in front of you, and you play with your drumsticks, and you hit what you want the beat to be and shit. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
pretty
That's
cool,
dope.
and it'd be like a fun thing to do on stream, just to like as like a, hey, we're making something today. Yeah,
Right.
like, we're gonna make the what did we play this week theme song this week.
We play this way,
We got to figure it out at some point,
bitch.
bitch. It's like a
Gotta have a bitch in
gospel.
there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Bitch. Ha.
I just want a gospel choir to be singing, "What did we play this week, bitch?" And that's it. And like a tambourine on the side, just like shaking.
You just gotta find a synthesizer, not a synthesizer, a vocalizer that has a gospel setting, and just put that in, and
Hell
then
yeah.
like tune it.
And then add more soul. As much soul as possible. Max out the
soul,
soul.
put the soul fader up.
Put that slider on max, bro.
Right.
But other than that, in the VR world, I have been playing Halo a lot this week. I played a little bit today with the Haptic guys and a couple other people. Been playing off and on by myself just because I wanted to get. There's like this challenge with the Ronin skin, like the Japanese armor, and you have to do specific challenges for that battle pass.
Mhm.
And I did all of them, and I still am not halfway through that challenge list to get the full armor set, so I'm kind of pissed because the only other time that I have is next time is February 1st to the 10th, I think. So like it ends tomorrow
Oh shit.
for January, but I've already finished all the ones that they're going to give me, so I won't get any more. So I got to wait till February to get another set of them. It's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
But
sounds like it.
I've been doing pretty well as of late. I dropped into the ranked game mode today while I was
Mhm.
waiting on joining a big team battle with the guys, and I dropped 31 kills, and I only died like 5 times, and I forget what game mode it was
Nice.
specifically. It was Oddball, that's what it was. Which
Mhm.
I hate Oddball. I think it's stupid. Like, you just hold the skull and run around, but you're slow as shit for no reason. Like, they gotta take some notes from Splitgate because their version is so much more fun.
Splitgate one is fun as hell.
Theirs is like more like Griffball, right? Because that has like the swords and the hammers for Griffball, right? I've been told.
They do.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's the one? It's the Halo game where you play with the ball and you have the hammers and the swords and you try to score goals. Isn't that Griffball?
It probably is. I have no idea.
Listen, you're the Xbox guy. You have one.
Yeah, but you know, I also need to play video games. So there's that.
that it is true. No, it's all good. I mean, I was trying to play Halo with you yesterday, but then you decided to OG stream it up. I was like, okay, fine.
It's like now that we do this, it's like, okay, I need to be playing things, but also I want to contribute to our own shit. So now I have to pick and choose what I do with the time I will be playing video games. And honestly, and then I started. Well, I'll get into it on what I've been playing, but
take the floor because I'm donezo with Halo.
No, you're not. Figure Friday. What did you play?
Oh shit!
No, I was waiting for it.
I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I was waiting for it because I want to hear about it because I'm watching it and I just fell asleep on the couch on my phone watching it.
I don't blame you for it because it was very relaxing. On Figure Friday, I played a game called Artful Escape. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know how to explain. It's kind of a platformer.
Yeah,
but also
like a platformer / rhythm, maybe. But
not at all at the same time.
Yeah, it's different.
It's really weird, man. It's by Annapurna, so it definitely gives off the vibe of like more of like an artsy game. Mm-hmm. Ironically, because it says Artful Escape in the title, but pretty much you're this dude who's living in the shadow of his uncle, who's like a folk singer, and you're trying to be a serious folk singer yourself, but then you just rip this nasty guitar solo on a mountain, and this chick finds you and tells you you should just be yourself or be someone entirely else. And then an alien comes down.
That wasn't like his sister or something?
No.
I remember that part. I just didn't know who she was.
She was just some person. That was it. But like, he's like a very space-driven guy, like the main character you play. And like, you go back home after you check out the whole entire town and whatnot, which is gorgeous, by the way. I'm not a huge fan of the animation of the character still, but like, it's just great overall. Yeah. Like, the style itself is great. I just don't like the way it looks for movement. But literally an alien invasion happens where this alien comes down and is like, yo, I forget what the guy's name is, the character name, but Carl Weathers shows up and he's like this trippy guitar player, performer guy. He's like, I need you to be my opening act, blah, 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 blah. And you get beamed onto the spaceship and then you get sent to a different world where you have to fucking platform while playing the guitar and double jumping and using your guitar to hit like a third jump as well when you hit like a power chord. And it's like lighting up the area. It's trippy. I don't know how to explain it. That's the thing that's crazy about this game because it's a lot of stuff and nothing at the same time. Like, it's not really a game.
It's everywhere and nowhere.
like there's no challenge to it per se. Like every game that not every game, but like most games have like some sort of like challenge aspect, but like the platforming is super easy to the
Mhm.
point of like you're just there to press the A button and everything else will happen along the way. And there's like a Simon Says aspect to it with like playing the guitar and the different chords, like you follow along after like certain people, or you could do your own thing
Right.
depending on where you are in levels with like I think it's 5 buttons because it's the top 3 buttons and then your 2 bumpers, and it's just a lot and nothing at the same time,
Mhm.
which is crazy. But it's one of those things where it's like I wanted to play it the other day, and I said this when I was in the chat. I was like, I wanted to play it, but I didn't want to just play it. I wanted to stream it because like I want other people to like watch along with me because like I don't want
Got
to
it.
like. I feel like if I don't play it on stream after I started on stream, and then next Friday I'm like, hey, we're playing Artful Escape again. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in an hour from now,
Yeah.
dude.
True. You have
So
no idea.
I don't want to like play an hour off stream and then out of nowhere it's like I'm fucking playing the drums now instead of playing guitar. Like, you know, like
Right.
like when did
Right.
this happen?
Mhm.
And then how do I explain that? Because I already piss poor explained what already did happen. So it's such a weird game,
Right.
but like I'm so happy it's on Game Pass because I don't think I'd spend money on it. Not necessarily
Honestly,
in
I
the
think
sense,
that's how most people feel about it.
yeah. And it's not to knock the game at all. It's just one of those things where it's like it's different enough to make me second guess wanting to put money at it.
Mhm.
Off like just like yeah, I'm gonna put money at this because I'm interested. But the fact that it's free and I get that chance to like play it with Game Pass, I would definitely spend money on this if it was a full release game. $40 probably so far,
Yeah, it
but
doesn't
we'll
seem
see
like
how
a
long it
70,
is.
$80 game. I
Yeah.
mean, $60, $70 game to me.
Yeah. It's
But it doesn't
definitely it
seem
feels like
bad.
an indie too. Like it feels
Mhm.
like I'm playing an indie game, but it's from Annapurna, so not
Right.
really.
Right. Right. Right.
But yeah, man. I don't know. Like I just had fun the whole time. Like I was just zoning out. And it was funny because I was like, I kind of wish I was high during this. And I think that a couple people in the chat were, and they were like, I don't
Hey.
recommend it because it wasn't great. There were
I'm
some
tripping balls.
there was a couple like there was this thing that they do in between I guess levels you would call it, where it like does this weird zoom into your character and then it cuts to like a weird color thing and it's just like
Mhm.
fast cuts and like it reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when they're going through like the space like portal thing
Yeah.
really fast and like different things are happening and shit. Like it was very much reminiscent of that, and I was like, man, that would have been crazy to experience high. And then people in the chat are like, don't. so so maybe I won't.
I'm talking to you
But
from the other side. Don't do it.
literally, I like it was ironic. 'Cause I felt high playing it
That should tell you a
because
lot right there.
yeah, like I was in this like space mentally where I was just like I was mellow as fuck and I
Mhm.
was just like experiencing it and it felt like I wasn't playing, if that makes sense. And then like the only time that I would realize I'm still playing it is when it would be like a dialogue option. It'd be like you have 3 options to pick from, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm playing this, aren't I?
So
And then I'd be
fucking
like, interact with chat, interact.
Game Pass. It's fucking puff puff Game Pass. Fucking it,
That's the title of the episode right there. Puff
true.
Puff Game
It's
Pass.
either that or movies from 2003.
Kangaroo Jack.
Or that.
It should be. It's like a bowl of fruity pebbles right before you pour the milk.
Guns in the lights.
Hell yeah. But that is all I've played this week, besides forgetting completely about that game because it was more of an experience than me playing it. I was just there. The game was playing me.
I'll take that. That's valid. As
How
far
about
as
you,
as
OG?
far as I have been, all my game playing has been done on the OG streams, and then we have been making our way through Super Mario RPG. I think we're about 4 to 5 hours into that game. It's not necessarily for an RPG, not necessarily a long game. I
Mm-hmm.
think we can probably beat that game in maybe 10 to 12
Streams or hours?
hours, not streams.
Okay. I was like, shit.
Like if I sit down for a substantial amount of time for another 3 to 4 streams, I think we're going to end that game.
Nice.
There's an indie I want to play, and I'm sitting here like, do I break in the middle of Mario RPG and play it, or do I just finish Mario RPG and then on to the next thing? I'm not sure yet.
You got options.
I haven't downloaded I haven't downloaded the indie yet, and I kind of want to try it out, but I kind of want to stream it too. It's one of those things where it's like all my gaming is being saved up just to stream it now.
I feel that.
But Mario RPG has been fun. A lot of people in there like never played it or never seen it. So like that's been fun kind of going through it with everybody in the chat on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it in a while. So a lot of it is for me is just like, oh yeah, this is what I got to do. This is where I got to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been kind of fun reliving that. For those who don't know, Mario RPG is like Square and Nintendo, their first collab. Was it their only collab? No, because they collabed again once the Switch came out. But it's turn-based battles. It's like adding Final Fantasy elements to Mario with a diorama-esque visual style.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really good time. I mean, I don't want to, some of the streams are up. I mean, all the streams are up, on YouTube and it's still on Twitch, right?
Yeah, for Twitch, I think it gets taken down after a certain amount of time for some reason. Like it saves it, but then after like 45 days, it goes away. But over on YouTube, it's always there and it will always stay there unless we decide to take it down for some reason. But I highly doubt that'll be a thing.
But I played it for a good long time last night, and I'm just trying to make it. I kind of really want to get through that game from beginning to end because I think it's entertaining throughout. So if you haven't seen it, go head over to YouTube. You can watch it. The first 2 streams of it anyway. Are you still there? I think you're frozen. Or maybe I'm frozen. Who's frozen?
Hello?
Yo.
You just froze.
I thought you froze. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you there? What was the last thing that was said that you heard?
Couldn't tell you, man, because I was just so focused on like, I'm entertaining still, maybe.
That's what I was trying to do. I was doing the same thing on my head.
Look at that.
I don't know what the last thing that was you heard me say was.
I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see how I edit the video to that because I'll only have your audio. Actually, you know what? I'll have my audio as well. So it'll be very interesting to put us both at the same time panicking and trying to stay constantly entertaining.
Yeah. I'm talking, I look down, I'm like, did you freeze? And I'm like, are you there? And then slowly but surely you were just like coming back, like motion again.
Nah, dude, you were mid-sentence saying something, but I do not remember.
Fuck.
To be fair, they'll hear it, so true. It doesn't matter if I heard it or not.
This will be an interesting edit right there.
Yeah, that'll be fun to figure out.
Just in case, like I said, we're a couple hours in. It's fun going through that game. Couple more sit downs with it. It's very charming. It has its funny moments on top of great gameplay. And I really want them to make a sequel. Still to this day, make a sequel to that game. Other than that, we've been starting all those streams off as usual by running through Super Mario Brothers 1 and on our most recent OG stream, which by the time this comes out, it might not be our most recent OG stream because I'm definitely trying to get back on there. So on the one I'm talking about, the one I did Saturday, quite frankly, from our Discord community, NGP,
shout out.
He challenged me. I don't care what he says. He brought the idea to the table, which is challenging me, that I should run through that game just as Little Mario. Little dumbass Mario.
Yeah, there it is. I was like, that's not Little Mario. That's not what you refer to him as.
Yes. So I did that, to which it wasn't easy. It's a much more difficult run through, but we did it.
I feel like the most difficult part was definitely the Hammer Bros.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, because
I'm
like
so used to just throwing a fireball at them and they're gone.
yeah, it's crazy to me because like some of them you didn't even fight because I guess you can't fight them if they're not on like the platform or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
you can't. You can jump on them, but it'd be
them.
almost impossible.
Yeah, but like you're like an inch away from them, like as they're throwing hammers over your head, and it's the most anxiety like filled thing ever. And I'm just like, oh god,
try playing that shit. Like I'm sitting there, like as soon as he jumps, I have to be close enough to be able to run under him when he jumps, but just farther enough from him that I don't die from being too close, and just close enough to him by not getting, so I don't get hit by the hammers.
Dude,
it's balancing a lot of shit.
Bad. I was like freaking out. I was like, I hate this. This is not fun for me. Meanwhile,
then,
quite frankly's in the chat, just like
yeah, evil laughter. But we made it through. To which Lucas challenges me now. Like, how don't you just run through the whole game? I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Well, it was also funny because you're like, I am Lucas. What do you mean? And then he's like, no warp zones.
Listen.
I mean, to be fair, they're a part of the game, which means.
Well, yes, but the only reason I explained this during the thing is like, that's why that's the intro game. That's the game that's just, we're loosening up by playing this game. That's why I use the warp zones. So
yeah,
he wants me to go from level 1 all the way to 8-4. Don't skip anything, which we can do, but it's going to be a much different stream. That's the game. That's what we're playing on that.
We're just gonna have to do a little dumbass Mario counter on the side. How many times you lose and go back to little dumbass?
Because he said not only he's like you should run through the whole game, and then I think quite frankly said and then you should run through it as just little Mario. And I'm like, you're gonna see me rage at that. That's gonna be my first rage moment.
Yeah, that one right there just sounds like not fun. Like running through the whole game itself by its like no warps, that could be fun, like it's a nice challenge. You could still use power-ups and whatnot, and you could still throw fireballs, but like doing it only as little dumbass Mario, no power-ups, one-hit death for anything, that sounds like hell to me, because I've never even beaten Mario. So like there's that.
I gotta do it now.
Yeah.
At least on it's normal, not just as little Mario.
True.
But I might have to start practicing.
At one point, I'll beat it myself. I'll start off my stream beating Mario 1. With my knowledge from the OG streams.
Yeah, you can do it, man. It's not hard.
The only one that I think I won't be able to do is the castle level with all of the fucking pipes and shit.
Oh yeah,
because I can't remember that pattern no matter how many times I'm told.
That's just knowledge from childhood of doing that 8,000 times.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Even if you wrote like out a roadmap, I would still not be able to do it. I would still fuck it up somehow. I don't know how, but I would. So.
Yes, man.
One day.
Gotta try it. I would love to watch you. I would love to see you do it on stream one day.
It would not go well. Let's just say I would not have a pro controller anymore.
That game would be the game to do it.
Oh yeah. I'm not good at those games. I know it. Same thing with Mega Man. I can't do Mega Man as well. I'm not good at those.
I got to return to that too.
The X series.
Yeah.
Or are you just doing regular Mega Man too?
No, I want to do the X series. I'm much better at the X series than the regular Mega Man series. I can play the Mega Man series. It's just I didn't own any of those as a kid. Like my first Mega Man game was Mega Man X2. And then like I kind of went back and played the old ones. And then when I got older and emulators and ROMs came out, I went back and played like all of them.
I feel you. I don't know, man. Retro games and me just don't get along. Just not my thing. I can't do it well.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's why we're both representing two sides of
Yeah.
gaming right now.
Dude, I can't even tell you like a retro game that I'm good at either. That's the crazy part. Like, I remember the pick 10 that was at my orthodontist had like the 10 games on it. Like, I would play Mario 3, which I was okay at. I'm not good by any means. Like, I feel like anyone's okay at Mario 3 because it's not to be that guy, but I feel like it's like a dumbed down version of Mario where it's like anybody can kind of just walk their way into it and do good, kind of. And then I hated Excite Bike. Excite Bike fucking sucks. I hate that game. Baseball, I was really good at. That game, I loved. The only thing I didn't love was when I would try to bait the AI a lot into stealing, and it would work so much. Like, I would be like, oh, I'll throw over to first base, and they're at second. They'd be like, oh, I got the opportunity. And you just do it until they go. And then you just fucking get them in the roundabout, and you just keep tossing back and forth. That's the best way to do it. It's so much fun. Because pitching, I don't really like in that game, but everything else is pretty nice.
I remember playing that as a kid, and then I got it was kind of just like baseball. It was called Bases Loaded on NES, and it was the same idea, but it was fun.
There's also the Ninja Turtles one where you start off as like an overhead, and then Turtles you go into the sewer. Hated it because those little Mousers just fuck you up in that like first level.
That's the worst turtle game.
There's like a tank there too as well for some reason. Nothing made sense.
Nothing. Only the bosses were actual characters from the show. Like the
Couldn't
little
tell you.
There were Mousers and there were some Foot Clan, but like most of the enemies were just like weird ass shit. It was like you said, that tank. There was like just a man on fire throwing fire. I was like, what episode is that? What movie is that?
Where they see the Fantastic Four, you know?
Yeah, right. Just fucking you up with fire. Like, I was like, that's not a thing.
God damn. Mike Tyson's Punch Out was fun though. I remember playing that a lot. And that was not easy, but like it starts off easy and you learn so fast with it because I feel like it's the best.
It's a puzzle game.
Yeah. It's literally the best game to teach you how to beat the game while it's happening.
Yeah.
Like you're like, first fight, cool. That was really easy. Second fight, a little bit harder. I'm going to teach you a little bit different of how to do this. Next fight, same thing until you get to the very end when you fight Mike Tyson and
just beats your fucking ass. I don't care who you are. I can't beat. Like, I don't think I've ever beaten it, but I've gotten to the end and I've never beaten that game.
Mike Tyson just comes at you and bites your fucking ear.
Yeah, like he does.
You just got to go for his back.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Hit him in the back.
I injured my back.
Spinal.
What kind of injuries? That's how the game ends. And then little Mac's like, I'm going to Smash. Fuck this shit.
Going to Smash Brothers. Where I can spinal fuck everybody.
Spinal fuck. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. All right. Now, after we've finished, I think that's all you got, right? Or
That's
all right, cool. Just want to make sure. There's been some news this week in the video game community. So
Finally,
that's a
news
good
is
time.
happening.
Yeah. So there's been a couple events that have happened. CES, and by a couple I mean just that one, in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that was a cool thing that happened. Couple things that were confirmed at the Sony conference. First of all, I guess this is we'll start with this one just because it's the least cool, I think, with Twisted Metal, the TV series.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
I didn't see the news. Like, so it's just confirming, like, what was it?
Yes. It's literally just confirming that the television series is in production. It was at CES 2022. They confirmed it at their keynote speech, mentioning that a new TV show based on the series is in production, making this the first time in 10 years since anything related to Twisted Metal has been worked on. That's it.
So we don't know what like channel it's going to be on or anything?
I don't believe so. No, not yet. I think it's still in early development of the actual show, but I don't know if a show is the right way to bring back the franchise.
Well, the rumor was true that they were working on a game too.
I guess, but like, obviously, if you're making a show that in lieu there would probably be a game, that would like, go with it or some shit, because it makes sense.
Right.
But also, like, tell me there's a game first. Don't tell me there's a TV series first. Because what the fuck is this TV series gonna even be?
I think what they're doing, unless this TV series just works well for people who don't know what Twisted Metal is, which would be a lot of people now in 2022, especially kids coming up probably like, the fuck is Twisted Metal? I think that
people born after Kangaroo Jack.
Exactly. The Jack era, we call them. Generation Jack.
It's the PJ era, the post Jack era.
The post Jack era. I think they would have no idea what Twisted Metal is. So it would have to work on a level that anyone could pick up and watch it.
I don't know, though. I feel like this is going to be an adult-ass show. Because it's Twisted Metal, bruh.
You're right. But it's like...
Ain't no kids allowed to watch this. Ain't going to be on fucking... What's the kid channel nowadays that exists?
Cartoon Network? I don't know. The kid
that
channels?
Still exists? I don't know.
Yes, it still exists.
I'm just mad because all my cartoons are on Boomerang now, and I feel like a fucking boomer.
Dang. All of my cartoons have been on Boomerang for a long time now. I remember when Boomerang came out, and I was like, the Jetsons!
Listen, man, the Jetsons were dope. I didn't like the Flintstones. The Flintstones kind of sucked, in my opinion.
The Flintstones, I agree. The Flintstones compared to the Jetsons sucks. Yeah. I would watch the Flintstones sometimes, but the Jetsons, I was like, no, I want to watch this shit.
The Jetsons was dope.
Yeah.
And then, like, another thing, the live-action Flintstones movie, yikes.
The first one?
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, both. Fuck, like, yikes.
I saw it around the time it came out, but that was never a movie like I would watch with reruns or anything. I barely remember it.
Didn't they like recast Barney? Because it was Rick Moranis in the first one, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is great," and then like they got a different dude to do it.
They did? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, sad. But Twisted Metal,
motherfucking Dexter's on Boomerang. They put Dexter on Boomerang, and I was like, oh, I'm old.
I feel like Dexter makes sense to be on Boomerang.
Shut up, it does.
Because like, no, I watched that when I was a kid as well. Like, it was still on Cartoon Network when I was a kid, but like, I wasn't shocked when that went to Boomerang because Dexter looks like the Jetsons in my eyes. It looks like the same exact show.
I remember when Dexter came out, and I was like, this shit is fire. I loved Dexter. And they followed it up with Powerpuff Girls and stuff like that. I was like, this is great. All these cartoons are great. And that was like late 90s, mid to late 90s when they came out. Cause I remember it came out and it was just like, they used to have that indie cartoon show, What a Cartoon. And they would just show cartoons from like indie artists and studios and stuff. And Dexter was one of them. And I was like, man, they should make a whole show out of this. And they did. And it was great. And now it's on Boomerang like a fossil.
My favorite was Ed, Edd and Eddy. I love that show so much.
Ed, Edd and Eddy. Wow. Jawbreakers.
Dude. And the funny part is I never wanted a jawbreaker as a kid. But like I saw that show and I was like, oh, give me some jawbreakers.
Break my jaw.
Yeah. And then I would actually see the ones in store, like the big white ones with the rainbow speckles. I would see them. I'd be like, oh, it's like Ed and Eddy. And then I'd walk away promptly. Like I'd never be like, I want it. I was just like, oh.
Jawbreakers is one of those candies where I'm like, this is too much candy. It will never go away.
It's just annoying. That's just dumb.
It's very like, maybe because I'm an adult now, but it's very like gross. Because if you're not going to like finish it, you're not going to finish that giant jawbreaker at once.
Yeah.
So you're just going to be sitting there with this jawbreaker in your mouth. Then you're going to put it in like a plastic bag until later and suck on it again.
Here's the thing that's weird about candy that's like that. So like Jawbreakers, and I'm gonna even include lollipops in this. I'm not gonna say, but you know what, Jolly Ranchers too. They're getting they're getting the axe.
Right.
Those candies aren't actually candy. They're just sugar to flavor your spit.
But
That's all that they are. Because all you're doing is no, because like you eat a Sour Patch Kid and it's an actual thing that you chew and you consume, right? Same thing with a Skittle. With fucking like a lollipop, all you're doing, if you're eating it the right way, you're not chunking on it, you know, like and pissing your dentist off.
I was about to say, technically you can chew those too.
You can, but you're pissing off at least 9 out of the 10 dentists that like, you know, talk about the toothbrushes and shit. But like,
as they do,
lollipops and Jawbreakers are literally just things to make your spit taste good. That's all those candies are, and and I don't like them. Like lollipops, I've definitely fallen off of. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a lollipop. I've never wanted a Jawbreaker, and I'd rather just have like a Skittle, which the berry kind is the superior kind, motherfuckers.
Oh, you're gonna get some hate.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Regular Skittles are fine, but the berry Skittles with the purple bag,
the tropical ones are good too. The blue ones,
yeah,
the blue pack.
Any Skittles that are not the regular Skittles are better than the regular Skittles.
This is like the Mountain Dew conversation all over again.
It is. It is. And here's the thing: the only reason I like the regular Skittles nowadays is because I like the orange ones. And then I take the green and the yellow ones, and then I squeeze them really hard together, and then I make lemon lime Sprite Skittles.
All right.
That's the only reason. I hate the grape ones, the strawberry ones. I hate strawberry flavoring, and that's it. Meanwhile, you go to berry, and they got like cherry. They got fucking berry mix. They got all this shit. They got kiwi. Fucking, it's lit.
You sound like you got the car with the guns and the lights.
I got the cars with the gun and the lights. Twisted Metal, baby.
Oh, man, full circle. That was fucking magic.
There it is. And now we're back on topic.
Got to end the show then. Bye, everybody.
Yeah,
that was just
see
the perfect full circle thing ever.
But no, what would you want
real quick on the candy thing? Chocolate candy beats fruity candy. Everything.
I disagree. I don't like chocolate.
What are we even doing here, Chris?
Chocolate gives me the shit, you know, like the fucking like the gross mouth. You know what I'm talking about? What was the thing that we called
Skittles doesn't?
No, Skittles doesn't at all. This is more like of a fruity flavor as opposed to like dairy product. I'm not good with dairy, to be fair.
All right, well that's different.
Yeah. But like milk chocolate annoys me. Dark chocolate, fuck me up. Sideways.
Whoa, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's great.
Oh,
you know
okay.
those now here's unpopular opinion, probably those little dots of chocolate with the little white little hard jimmies on them. They're like Neapolitans or something like that, right?
Okay.
Snow caps.
Okay,
like
okay.
The main brand ones.
Yeah.
The dark chocolate ones of them. Every day of the week, fuck me up. Give me them. Those are my chocolate. Any other chocolate, like, fuck off.
Reese's?
Reese's I don't consider to be a chocolate, if that makes sense. Because it's more peanut butter than it is chocolate. The ratio is more peanut butter.
We are going to rave, but there's chocolate involved.
There's chocolate. Chocolate can be involved with certain candies. Like a Twix. A Twix is not a chocolate bar.
Yeah,
it's
but
just
if you
covered
had to
in
categorize
chocolate.
it would be with the chocolate bars.
I would not.
In the stores, they're with the chocolate.
They can be wrong. Whoever said that Giant is a fucking intellectual company?
Every store, though.
It's fine that they're wrong. It's
everyone can be wrong.
Everyone can be wrong.
Everyone but you?
I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying that objectively, Twix is not a chocolate candy. It's a chocolate covered candy. There's a difference between the two. While you can put them together, if I want chocolate, I'm not going for a Twix. If I want caramel and cookie, I'm going for a Twix.
Then what is a Snickers?
Isn't it? Is Snickers nougat or is that just Three Musketeers?
There's Three Musketeers. Snickers is caramel,
Does it have the
peanuts.
cookie in it too?
No, I mean they have ones that have cookie in them, but original
No.
Snickers, caramel, peanuts, and chocolate. I think that's it.
I thought there was something else. I thought there was a third thing because it's not. There's like a layer of like a crunch bit. I could be wrong. To be fair.
Nah, not in Snickers.
I don't know. Snickers. I mean, to be fair, I feel like the ratio is more leaning towards peanuts and caramel as well. Like it's just chocolate covered. You know what I mean?
But chocolate plays an enough of a role in the candy bar.
It just holds it together. It's not.
But they could have
It's
used
not
caramel
the
to hold it
main
together
attraction.
for all of that.
You know,
For all
it's
that,
not the main attraction though.
But they could have used if they wanted to just hold something together. They don't need chocolate.
Yeah, but nobody likes that peanut chew bar. That's gross.
If I'm going from what you just said, and it holds.
I understand. It's just not a chocolate
But if
bar.
it's playing the
It's a
role
chocolate
to hold it
wrapped
together
bar.
so well, chocolate has to get.
It just features chocolate. It's like it's a feature on the album. It's not the main attraction.
But it's the main thing that's there when you open the candy. You don't see the caramel or the peanuts.
Nah, it's not the main attraction. The main that's the opening act. You see the chocolate, and it's the opening, the beginning, and then you break open to the actual main attraction on the inside. That's what you want.
I can't.
If you just wanted a chocolate bar, you just get a Hershey chocolate bar.
I can't wait for people to hear this episode. I need backup.
Listen, I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that it's objectively not a chocolate bar.
I'm not nuts. Nuts.
Peanut chews.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Twisted Metal television show.
What channel would you want this to be on, or streaming service, if you had to choose?
It's gonna be Netflix or HBO, and the only reason I bring up HBO is because that's where Last of Us is going.
Okay.
Another game where the hell is that? What's the progress on the remake of Last of Us with the actors from this show? Well, that's what the whole thing was, right?
Well, that's the thing. That there's a game being remade of Last of Us.
Yeah.
And then there's also the show, but we don't know that the game is featuring the actors yet. We don't know anything about the game except for that it's in development.
I thought the game was going to be a remake and it was going to feature the Joel from the show that's coming out.
That's what we said would be cool.
Oh,
on the podcast. We don't know anything.
Because we were like, I wonder if they're going to do it like they did Spider-Man with the Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
But we have no idea as of this moment at all anything that is even going to occur with that game. We just know that it's in development, and apparently there's more news that's come out about it, that it's more in development and it's going well. There's a multiplayer element as well that's coming along with it, which is fine. I don't care. I just don't understand why you would remake a series right after the sequel did such a good job, even though, to be fair, we're the only people that think that it did a good job, most of us. But the overarching opinion is people hate Last of Us 2 because they're stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand anybody who hated Last of Us 2.
Because they're like, Abby's so bad. How could you kill Joel? Because Joel's a piece of shit. That's why.
Or maybe, just maybe, you don't always need a story where it's all buttoned up perfectly at the end.
Yeah.
I like when they diverge like that. I like getting a story sometimes where it doesn't end the obvious way. Because they could have just killed Abby and then Joel saves the day. It could have just ended perfectly. And while they would have made it amazing, I'm sure they would have written it to the T and it would have been great. I like turning that shit on its head sometimes.
I liked it just because it made you feel like the asshole. Because the whole first game, you feel like you're doing the right thing or whatever because you're going against the Fireflies. Even though I feel like the Fireflies and Joel had enough bad on each end. Like the Fireflies' heart was in the right place, but also they weren't doing it the right way. Right. Joel's heart was in the right place, but then he murdered everyone to save the girl. Like everyone was bad. And then in this game, it's like objectively the only bad people left because Joel killed the rest of them are Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
So, and then Ellie just decides, let me make all the wrong decisions. So, and then kills a pregnant woman, kills the whole entire set of people, and infects a girl, and like leaves her to die and be infected. Like she literally becomes the villain.
Yeah, yeah.
And deserved to die at the end and should have.
I like that, and I feel like only a studio that is that good at putting together a project like that and a story like that, like you're able to make me feel this roller coaster of emotions and not give me the obvious satisfactory ending and make me feel like a piece of shit, but also make me appreciate it at the same time. How can you be mad at that? How can you be mad at that? Because you weren't the hero. Everybody you're playing to be the hero, but no, you were playing to get through a narrative, and it had amazing gameplay leading your way through it. You don't think it had amazing gameplay?
I don't like Last of Us's gameplay. I think it's clunky.
I think it's clunky, but I think it's clunky kind of on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, it can be, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clunky. Like, there's a lot of like stupid shit that happens. Like, there's stuff that can happen that's clunky and makes sense, but then there's other stuff where it's just like, oh, that was just annoying. Like,
okay,
the gunplay sucks. I hate the guns in the game.
How about mechanically? It moves you through that story very well mechanically. Not every mechanic. Like, you can have your critiques about the gunplay and stuff.
I feel like the traversal's okay. It's okay. It's one of those things where I'm like, it's not breaking any barriers, you know? Like, it's not the movement of Spider-Man where it's like, holy shit, this is the epitome of what Spider-Man is. Like, it's one of those things where like, I don't think that these people are this clumsy in this environment.
I don't know.
In the real world.
I think it lends itself to real world. I don't think you'd be doing all that super smoothly in the real world. True. I think you would be moving like that.
And that's fine. It's just annoying from a gameplay point of view where it's like I have to replay parts because I walk into a bottle because my character has to readjust its own fucking body for some reason, even though I've been walking in a straight line, and I hit a bottle and then the zombies come after me or the people hear me, like, and then I die because I lost the sneakiness, but it's not my fault. It's the game rotated my character 360 for no fucking reason.
What we need, you know, is VR Last of Us 2 so that everybody's responsible for their movement.
I never want that because I refuse to play that scene in the hotel in VR.
Oh yeah.
I hate that scene. I hate it. It's objectively just cruel and rude. They should feel bad about what they did. But Twisted Metal.
That's yeah. Twisted Metal is amazing. The show's coming out.
It's not. I don't have high hopes for this show. I don't have high hopes for a game to come out from it. I think there were early talks about the show being based around the clown character who's not named Sweet Tooth. The car is named Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just lore, apparently, in general, from, like, Twisted Metal 1. But fucking, it's his origin story, which is weird to me. I don't get it. I don't know why we need it. I just feel like if you just make a cool car game with fucking James Bond machine guns in the headlights, people would have had a better time. But I hope it's HBO Max, and then we could do, like, the Sony video game universe over there. I don't know what other games they would make shows out of besides Twisted Metal and Last of Us, but
they could make God of War and Horizon. I feel like
I would like Horizon.
Those are the two go-tos for me if they had to make movies.
I don't know if I love God of War as a game, but I don't like. I would love to see it in person, a real thing, in a series, but I'm also like, the game just does it perfectly. So why, like Last of Us, you could argue, maybe the game engine isn't the best way to tell this story. Sure, in some parts, as opposed to God of War, which works perfectly as a game. Like, that is a perfect game.
I agree.
As opposed to Last of Us, which is not.
And I'm with you. I think we don't need it. I just feel like if they're going to do it.
Yeah. I'd love a show in the world of God of War, I don't know who would be focused on or something like that, or even the same thing with Horizon, where it's like the world of Horizon as opposed to being Aloy and her story. That'd be really cool, but I don't know.
Make
That
they need to do they know they did a movie, but I feel like whatchamacallit needs like a series for kids, I guess, like Ratchet and Clank. A cartoon series.
that'd be cool, like an animated series on
Yeah.
like HBO, where it's not necessarily adult themed, but it's like just an actual animated series based
Yeah.
around those characters. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that works. I would be willing to watch a Returnal miniseries about you're just trying to figure out like what the hell is happening. Why does her day keep restarting on this planet?
That'd be
It's like
sweet.
6 episodes, a miniseries.
I would like
an
that.
hour long each. I think it would be dope.
I feel like they should make. This is gonna sound ironic coming from me, but a Resident Evil series. I don't know who would focus on in the franchise per se, or even if it would retell a game, but like I feel like a TV series lends itself better than the movies they've done, as we've seen from what Netflix has given us with that what was it called, Return to Raccoon City or something like that. That got terrible reviews.
Yeah.
Give it to HBO. Let them do it in like a short series, like 10 episodes per season type thing, and explore different parts of the Resident Evil world. Like I'm not gonna lie. I watched a ending explained of Resident Evil 8 because I don't know if we're ever gonna get back to it. So I kind of just wanted to know.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I want to know now too.
I was just like, I think it was last night specifically. I was like, I just want to know how this fucking game, what the hell any of this means.
How's
and
it
it's
end?
cool. I'm not gonna spoil it for you because I think
nobody
you
playing
should
that
watch
shit.
the video.
Alright,
I think you
okay,
should
okay.
watch the video because they can explain it better than I can.
All right.
Because I'm also not a Resident Evil guy, because there's connections to other games that I can't explain well enough to a person who's probably played the other Resident Evil games. So I don't want to do dirty, but it was pretty cool the way that it ends. I think, in my opinion, it'd be cool to see, instead of there being a Resident Evil 9 like right away, which I mean it kind of sets up Resident Evil 9, whatever that will be at the end. I'll say that at least. It would be cool to have like a short series with the character that is at the end of the game without spoiling it, and like exploring what that person's life is like after the events of this game prior to the game coming out, and then have some sort of like end credit scene on the last episode of the season, and it just leads into the game. Here's where the game's starting. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I don't know what other series I'd like from Sony.
What other series would you like, listeners and viewers?
Yeah. Let us know in our email, savebeforequitting, fully spelled out, @gmail.com, or in the Discord. Let us know.
In the Discord.
Yeah. So other than that, at CES, there's been another huge revelation in technology coming to the PlayStation universe. And that is PSVR 2. So they came out and announced this with a new headset. I think they showed off like the pictures of what it looks like and shit as well. I don't believe they showed prices off the top of my head.
I haven't seen price.
Yeah. There was a specs thing that you sent over to me, which I don't have handy, but I don't remember where you sent it, to be honest.
Instagram.
There it is. But pretty much they showed that off. In comparison with other headsets, it's looking pretty good. The only thing that I see that is not beneficial, from as far as I can see, is that it does require the PS5. It doesn't look like it's one where you can plug it into, you know, your PC and play some shit on it. Like with my Oculus Quest 2, I can literally plug into my PC with a cord or with an AirLink feature and play PC games on Steam or through the Oculus app, or the same thing that goes with the Valve Index. But in comparison with regular PSVR, as far as the pixels per eye goes, the original PSVR had 960 by 1080 per eye. The new one has 2000 by 2040 per eye. So big upgrade there.
Right.
Needless to say, it's literally double the quality. Both have OLED displays. The screen refresh rate are both the same at 120 hertz. The tracking is a little bit different than the original PSVR. The original PSVR, you had to track with the PS camera, the LEDs, and accelerometers and gyroscopes. And now with this new PSVR, you track with inside-out tracking and 4 built-in cameras, similar to the Oculus Quest, where there's the 4 on the outside, and that tracks the environment that you're in, so you don't need to set stuff up around your room, which is great, in my opinion. Yes, this is a new feature. It has eye tracking, which is new to this. No other VR headset has that. I'm curious to see how this is going to affect games in this world, if there's different games that can be specifically based around where your eyes look. I'm curious if they can do like some horror-based games with that in like a neat way, where it's like they're tracking your eyes and like they're like, oh, you're looking to the right. Now's the time to put something on your left. Shit. You know?
That's when I'll be like, all right, fuck this. Give me this thing off me.
it opens a lot of doors and opportunities. And it also just makes it a little bit more, I would assume it would also just help with like the actual visuals itself, where it'd be like, oh, I'm looking at this thing. That's what's in focus. And it would like change your, depth of field and whatnot. Yeah. Most likely. This is just assumption from my end. But, other than that, the field of view, the approximate field of view, is up another 10%, or not 10%, 10 degrees. The original PSVR had 100. This has 110. The audio has a headphone jack option, so you need to plug in your headphones in order to use this with audio. It is corded as well, which is slightly annoying. You would think that they would have a wireless option for this.
Yeah, I thought that's where I thought it would be going.
Especially with the Oculus Quest 2 having that option. And like, to be fair, like with the Oculus Quest 2, it's optional. So like you can do it without, and you have about 2 hours ish of gameplay straight. If you plug it in or have like a battery pack attached to it, like there's heads, like different straps you can get where like a battery pack goes on the back of your head and plugs into the like the actual headset, and it'll double your playtime. Or if you're plugged into your computer, it'll constantly be charging it at the same time. Like, that option is very cool to me, and it's surprising to see that the PSVR 2 is going to require you to plug into your PS5 at all times. But I digress. Next up, you are required to have a PS5. This is exclusive to PS5 for PSVR 2, so you cannot run that on your PS4 at all, unfortunately, but you do not need the PlayStation 5 camera, which is nice, so there's that. And then there are new controllers with it as well. They're calling them the Sense controllers. They're different from the PS Move controllers with the ball on top. They look more like how the Oculus and the HTC Vive ones are. But along with the VR, they did announce a game that comes along with it with Horizon. It's like a tie-in game.
I noticed that. It looks pretty dope.
Yeah. It's cool to see. And I'm hoping, I don't think it'll happen, but I'm hoping that they maybe port that to either the Steam store or some sort of thing that they do with the PlayStation Game Pass. If that comes to Oculus. PC, I would love to play that on Oculus, because I'm not getting PSVR 2.
Okay. Now as you said that, when I saw that comparison chart and I sent it to you, my main reason for looking at it, like, all right, I'm going to compare this just to the Oculus.
Yes.
And I was sitting here wondering, like, I do want to get VR. I'm like, so, because I'm kind of sold on it now. So now I'm like, okay, do I get Oculus or do I wait for PSVR 2? And I leaned, by the end of it, I was like, I think I'm still going Oculus, because I don't have to be tied to my PlayStation to use it.
Exactly. Besides that as well, like, not to downplay PlayStation, but like, you're limited to their library of games. So like, you can't play any games on Steam that are like in early access or alpha. You can't access that type of shit. With Oculus, you have the whole entire in-game, like in your headset option to buy games in there. You have the Oculus app, and then you also have Steam. So you have three different areas. And
Right.
to be fair, you can get the same exact game in all three areas. Like I could get Beat Saber on my headset, Beat Saber in the Oculus app, and then also Beat Saber on Steam and pay for it all three places. And I get to play it all three places.
Yeah.
And I have three copies of the game there, as opposed to PlayStation, which, to be fair, and this is coming from a person who doesn't have PlayStation VR or knows much about it, because I just recently got into VR, you can't play that shit on the PSVR at all. You know, you're
Yeah.
limited to their games that are on their console and their library,
Right.
which is kind of shit.
Well,
Is
as
it cool?
impressive as the specs seem to be,
Yeah,
the playability and where it can be played and how much you can play on it kind of made me like, well, this sounds great tech wise,
yeah.
but accessibility, Oculus seems to be destroying it.
Oh, 100%. And to be fair, Oculus also has the whole thing now with the Quest 2 where you have to like have the Meta account where it's not Meta, but you log in via your Facebook to have like it linked to you pretty much. And a lot of people don't like Facebook. I know a couple people in our Discord that are against it and don't even have one in the first place, but like in my opinion, humbly, making a burner Facebook just to have like an Oculus Quest 2 for the upgraded version of the headset is worth it, especially since most of the time, if you're one of those people in our Discord, you're going to be playing games over on Steam anyway, so you're going to be not needing the Facebook linkage anyway, because that's only for if you're buying games through the headset in the in-game headset engine.
Right.
That's linked to your Facebook account. The Oculus like web app that has on your like PC, completely different from the actual in-game on your headset, which is crazy to me because I bought like a 3-pack bundle on the headset the first day I got it on Christmas, and I was like, oh yeah, now let me head over to my PC and those games will be there.
Right.
They're not, because it's completely different. So that's pretty, it gives you options. And then if I wanted to, I just go on Steam, I could buy the games there instead. And then with Steam, I can use the Oculus Link, which is in beta technically, where it wirelessly connects to your PC, or you can buy the Oculus Link cable, which is I think $80, which is, it's a little steep for a cable to be honest, but it's long as fuck. So it gives you a lot of like wiggle room to move around with your PC on Steam. So you have options.
Gotcha.
But I think that the Oculus Quest 2 right now is kind of kicking other VR's ass. Besides maybe like the Valve Index or the Oculus, not the Oculus, what's the one called? The HTC Vive, that one?
Yeah.
Those are pretty dope, but Oculus Quest 2 as a consumer grade VR, insanely crazy.
How long has Oculus Quest 2 been out?
Less than a year, I think.
Less than a year?
Less than.
Okay.
I would say it's coming up on a year, but it's probably a little bit less than a year.
I'm just asking because if I'm going to not get PSVR 2 and they have these specific upgraded specs, I want to know how long is it going to be between an Oculus 2 and an Oculus 3? I don't
know.
think I got to worry about that. I'm going to still get it regardless. I'm just curious now because now that PlayStation kind of, you know, put their shit on the table, I'm sure there's no way Oculus didn't see that and be like, all right, well, let's go sit down at the drawing board and see what our next move is.
To be fair, comparing specifically Oculus Quest 2 to PSVR 2, just because that's the one I have, which you can see,
I feel like that's its only
camera.
competition. That's why I kind of was comparing the two.
The only thing that I would say that the PSVR 2 has an upper hand on as of this exact moment is the pixels per eye, which for the Oculus Quest 2 is 1832 by 920 per eye, which is still better than the first PSVR. And it has an LCD display as opposed to OLED. But like, I don't think that that's that big of a deal. Like, I don't need things to be insanely crispy. Like, you know, like it's like if you have the money to want to do that, you know, and like go to an OLED model for like the Nintendo Switch per se, like when that came out, sure, go ahead and do it. But
Yeah.
like there's nothing wrong with LCD, especially when it's like literally less than a half an inch away from your eyeball. Like it's
Yeah.
not that bad.
Hmm.
Plus like when you're directly linked into your computer, it's I think the display looks better in general as well. So it's already not that big of a deal. Plus you don't need that much detail, you know?
Right. Right.
And eventually it will be. Like when Oculus 3 comes out, I don't doubt that they will have OLED displays per each eye on the same level per pixel per eye for to compete against PSVR 2. But as of this point, I feel like they don't even need to do that for at least 5 to 10 years
Right.
because what they got right now is great. So I would say PSVR 2, while it looks cool, Oculus Quest 2 is where it's at.
All right. That's where I kind of landed. So I'm with
Yeah.
that. I'm with that.
Either that or just even the original Oculus, I would say, is even. We don't have the information here for the original Oculus in this chart, but like I feel like Oculus itself is just a better option overall than
I do too.
just like a headset dedicated specifically to a console. Like that's dumb, in my opinion.
I feel like
Like-
that should have been the upgrade. Like, while I see what y'all are doing, y'all want to tie to PS5 or whatever, great. I think the even bigger flex would have been like, and you don't even need. I could see if they said you need a PlayStation account,
Yeah,
but the fact that you have to be on your PS5, I feel like that kind of hinders it, especially
100%.
given the fact that there's way less PS5s out here than PS4s.
and you know there's going to be more PSVR 2s than there are PS5s available when they come out.
Right.
That's the crazy part. Is like when this finally comes out, there's going to be more stock for this than there is for PS5 still.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going to sit on the shelf because nobody's going to buy them because they don't have the PS5 to fucking run them.
Right. And
Or
the
they're going to
people who
buy them
do-
and not know that.
There's going to be people who have PS5s and don't get them. So
Yeah.
now you have these things on the shelf that people can't get because they don't have a PS5, and people aren't buying even though they have a PS5.
Yeah. And to be fair, like here's the thing: the easiest fix for this, would be to release that PlayStation Game Pass that's been rumored for weeks and weeks on end. If they were to release that and then have PSVR 2 communicate with a gaming PC as well as the PS5, that would sell it immediately for me. Then I'd be like, okay, now I'm tempted by that.
Right.
Because I can do both. Because like I can still have this to use my Steam games, but then I have my PlayStation Game Pass over here for the PlayStation exclusive titles that aren't coming to Steam that I can't use my Oculus 2 for, or maybe I could with the PlayStation app and the Oculus 2. Well, either way,
Right.
you need to give options there, and the fact that it's limiting to a specific console that's hard to get and almost impossible for most people.
Right.
And then I can't even tell you more than 3 to 4 PSVR games that are exclusive that I'm like, I need a PSVR to play, besides the Horizon game.
Yeah. Same.
So VR is right now very much a luxury of gaming, where it's like, you don't need it to enjoy games, but like when you do get it, and now that it's consumer level, with at least the Oculus Quest 2, it's a whole new experience and a whole new ball game where you're just like, this is fucking awesome. Like it's ironic because I kind of want to compare it to almost like 3D printing. Like I was talking to Josh in our Snapchat chat when I was sending him a print that I was doing that ironically failed 10 minutes later, and he's like, "You're making me want to get one." I'm like, "They're like $170, dude. Like, do it." You can make whatever you want. You just get a spool of fucking plastic, find the files you want, or make them yourself, and you just print away. Like, you can make anything, literally. You can make helmets. You can make fucking, like, headphone holders. You can make picture frames. You can make vases. You can do anything you want. And it's at a consumer level now where you don't need to know how to make the actual files. You could just take them from a free source online or pay for them.
Right.
If you wanted to. And it's the same thing with VR, where it's like, it's like maybe a little bit less than an actual console nowadays, and you can use it with your console or your gaming PC, or you could use it completely by yourself if you're just some dude who doesn't own a gaming PC, which
Pretty
is
much.
amazing. So, I don't know. It's cool. VR is great.
We're here now. VR has made itself valuable.
Yeah, right. Just what I'm waiting for AR to come back in a big way, because there was like a moment in time where AR was like kind of competing with VR, and I think it was winning. Like I remember back on the Nintendo DSi, I think it was, when it first integrated the camera and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and like it had the front facing camera. There were like 3 to 4 games that I remember like my brother getting, where it was like there was these cards you would get and you would put them on your desk.
That wasn't
like
3DS?
I don't know.
I feel like that was the 3DS when yeah.
I think it was didn't the DSi come first though?
Yeah.
I think it was on the DSi as well.
Okay.
Because there was a couple
I didn't have
there.
a DSi. I just had 3DS.
Yeah, but like you would like point it at this card and like it would look at like the different symbols on the card and it would spawn like a monster on it, and you could use the monsters to like fight each other, like kind of Digimon style.
Like Face Wars or something, and they would fly around and you have to look. I forgot how it worked.
I don't even know.
I had something like that.
But that's the crazy part. It's like they were cool.
Yeah.
And then they just disappeared. Like AR disappeared. The only thing that I could even think of that's current day that has AR is Pokemon Go, and it's shit. Like it hardly fucking works. Like it's like pointed at the ground so that we could see where the ground is, and then it doesn't do the thing. And then you go to throw the balls at people, like the Pokemon, not people. You could at people technically, but it wouldn't bounce. Anyway,
It wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it wouldn't do the thing, which would be cool if it did. But
it would be
like you throw it at the Pokemon, and then like the depth perception's all wrong, so you're throwing it too far or too short, and then you just turn it off and you use the regular catch feature,
and it just works.
Exactly. So it's like, why would I use AR when I could just have a game that works? But
man, when Pokemon Go first came out, that was a dangerous time.
Yeah.
People were playing that shit everywhere. People were playing it while driving.
I was, yes.
I was too.
Yeah. I remember that too.
Wasn't the best, but I was doing it.
We went, me and my brother, like I think it was like the first week it came out. We went to Sesame Place, and I guess we went into the employee parking by accident. We didn't know, to be fair. We were just like, there's a Pokestop at this thing. Let's go spin it real quick because this is open. It was like the gate was open. So we drive up to it, and we're spinning the stop, and this guy like knocks on our window. He's like, the hell are you guys doing? We're like, we're just catching Pokemon real quick and leaving. And he's like, you can't be here. This is like restricted areas. Like I'm like, well, the fucking fence is open. Sorry, and like spun around and got out of there.
So unless you're trying to catch Elmo, get the fuck out of my parking lot.
Exactly. But I was like, I'm catching him a chop, bitch. I'm gonna chop you in the dick if you don't get out my face. But
I caught a big bird. You happy?
A big bird. Oh man, but no, I mean, I want AR to make a comeback. I think AR and VR should go hand in hand, but they aren't.
Come for some reason. VAR.
Virtual augmented reality.
Yeah.
That would work. I mean, in theory, with these new headsets with the front-facing cameras that are your trackers, in theory, that's technically AR the way they're tracking your hand placement somewhat.
Listen, Oculus, Meta, PlayStation, somebody hire us and to be in these boardrooms.
In theory, that'd be cool.
VAR. They're like, what? Like, hear me out.
How about ever?
Aver. At that point, they're like, get out.
Get ready for some
like, security, kick these guys out, please.
We're pitching DJ Hero 3.
Next thing you know, like, damn, they kicked us out. And then breaking news goes across all social media, like, Sony announces VAR. Like, those sons of bitches.
Got to trademark it now before it's too late.
I know.
But other than our discussion on VR and the Horizon Forbidden West, Tribes of the Forbidden West game that's coming along with it, There was also an announcement for E3 2022.
Yep.
It is expected to be the first time since 2019 that this event is held in person, as the COVID-19 pandemic and its silver variants had since made it unsafe for people to gather, but it's now going to be online only. So it was going to be in person, coming back, and then boop, online only again, which is fine. To be fair,
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, with E3, I think they were already being pushed to head in that direction anyway.
Yeah.
So
I feel
yeah.
like those conventions and stuff like that, like E3 has never felt like a convention that really needs to be in person, in my opinion. Like I get like there's like the whole booths and you can go try these games after like they're played and whatnot, like on like the big screen, but it's like, why wouldn't you just release demos on like this like the respective stores online for everyone to play, as opposed to like having 30 to 40 people every hour or so playing for 5 to 10 minutes in a line. Like I get you're getting smaller feedback and like maybe your game's not ready for it or something like that for like mass download, but like I don't know, man. Those conventions I don't think need to be in person. Like a Comic-Con makes sense to be in person because there's different things to see there. There's convention panels, there's artists, there's merchandise, there's a bunch of stuff, cosplayers. E3 is just showing off games.
Yeah.
It's literally called E. Like the E is electronic. Like just do it virtually. Who gives a fuck?
I think we've just not just, but within the last 10 years have reached a place where we can all be part of E3 from our couch.
Yeah.
Before,
there's no reason to be there.
But up to the mid 2000s, I think I understood. Everybody didn't have the technology to stream or watch or be a part of it from home. It wasn't as widespread. Now everyone has a cell phone in their pocket. At the very least, you could just turn your cell phone onto YouTube and watch the whole show. We've reached a point where it's just easier for everyone, including the people who go to E3, like the companies like Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. It's easier for them because they're not spending millions, because that's what they were spending, to get builds done for these games and set up a floor display for their whatever they came to show. Like you see like how Nintendo's was every year. It was this big giant display that you had to build out for this whole show.
Like life-size statues of like Mario or Bowser or some shit.
Breath of the Wild, they had a whole
Fighters.
like outside looking like area, like you're in the game. Like they like Mario Odyssey, they had the whole downtown New Donk City area.
I remember I forget what year it was. I think it was like 2015. It was like they were promoting one of the Assassin's Creeds, and they had this like fake parkour like blow up course where like you would make your way through it like a race almost, and then at the end you would like do like the free fall jump.
Yeah.
And like you would jump into like a giant crash pad, but it wasn't super high, so it was whatever. But like things like that, it's just, it's also weird from the sense of coverage. Like let's just say like us, like we're a news source, you know? Look at us. It's harder for us to be there and like report on it there live than it is for us to be at home on a couch reporting live to a live stream and then posting to a social media as soon as possible as we get that clip if we wanted to. Like in theory, we could react to like the Star Wars game that comes out. Then I could go off to the side while they're playing the weird K-pop thing, clip it, put it in cross clip, toss it on fucking Instagram and TikTok, and then it's up like that. Boom. Yeah. As opposed to being at the convention, sitting somewhere, watching it live on a big screen, not being allowed to record that because obviously not being able to give you our reactions until we record the podcast. So like it doesn't make sense.
It's a slower process now.
Yeah.
By today's standards.
And like it's not the way to be like there as like a news source anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know or understand who E3 is for in that sense, because if you want to be either the first or like relevant with the content, you need to be there within like the same week of it or right at the same moment.
Mm.
as opposed to being at the convention and not having any way of posting anything besides tweeting, "Hey, this just got announced. That's pretty neat," like fucking Jeff Keighley was doing from CES.
Right.
like that's cool and all, but like he's like, "Oh yeah, PSVR 2 just got announced." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Where are like the videos and the images? Like there's nothing on your page, Keighley. What the fuck?"
Like, give me,
But
I need more than that.
yeah, but
I don't know. It like, it used to just be for investors, and it's like an investor showcase, and then it became it was like fan forward at that point after a while, because I remember getting old EGM and GamePro magazine, and that's where you would see all the E3 shit. Like, yo, that'd be so cool to be there, because they would show people playing these new games that you wouldn't touch until 6 months to a year later.
yeah.
And that's pre-internet, not pre-internet, but way before the internet was like the internet is today.
Yeah, it
So
was
I'm
like G4 days, you know? It was G4 days back when they would cover it and shit.
Yeah. I mean, even before that, like there was just, you got this magazine and you could see pictures, and that was it.
Damn.
So it was like I remember being a kid being like, yeah, this big new game is coming out. I remember when they had pictures of Mario 64. Mario 64 came out in 96. So they had these highlights of it in probably like 95.
Mm-hmm.
So I was seeing a magazine. There you go. You came to the world, made it a better place. Yes.
Telling kids to shut the fuck up weekly.
If you came out of the womb telling kids to shut up, you're just in the room
with
all the other babies in the little incubator boxes.
Listen, man.
Tell them to shut the fuck up.
When we're all in the boxes, the musical happens and everyone starts pissing, you know?
That's you remember that day?
From Rugrats.
Yeah.
Remember that day? When you were a little kid singing a musical, pissing?
Now look at you. It's been
now look at you.
There's no musical in your heart. But yeah, like I'm seeing that in like 95. I'm 9 years old, and I'm just like, I don't have any idea of, I just see pictures. I don't know how this game moves around. It just looks, it's just blowing my mind from what I see. And I don't know when it's coming out. I'm just a kid waiting until this
shows
drops from space into the world. So then I understood it. Then it was just like, man, to be there.
Yeah.
And then it finally became that.
Mm-hmm.
And you always wanted to go. But now we all have supercomputers in our pockets. So like, it's like no need now.
Yeah,
I can see the footage immediately.
With your pocket.
Yeah. And it's funny
that's
that
the
this
weird
happened.
thing.
It's funny because like the news came out that it's virtual now. And it made me think, because we signed up for PAX.
Yeah.
To see if we can get in there as a news source, as media.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, do you think that gets canceled too?
I could see it being, because here's, no offense to PAX, but I don't think PAX is that big of a deal.
No, it's more, that's like a fan event.
Yeah. So like I could see that definitely being still happening, but like vax card required,
right?
Mask the whole time, shit like that. Like I feel like that's fine, that event to happen. But this one definitely makes sense to just be digital, because all of the like the things that are being shown, you don't need to be there to see it, you know?
Yeah.
As opposed to PAX, if anything's getting shown at PAX East, like the only way you're seeing is if you're at PAX East. That's it. Because they don't stream PAX East, as far as I know. So you don't really need to.
They don't stream it, but if anything new that happens there, the footage gets to the internet pretty quickly. Like
exactly, yeah. Or like someone reports on it, or a news source, or whatever. Like someone tweets it. Like that's the thing. And if we go, we go. Cool. That's whatever. But like, it makes me think to my head. I'm like, would I even want to go to like a CES or E3? I don't know, because like there's nothing to do in theory. Like if anything, it would be more of a hindrance when it comes to like content and like giving our opinions about stuff. Like because we would just be there for us as of that point. Like it's more of an indulgent thing, and like, hey, look, we're here. That's it. And like, you know, we can make like a funny vlog or whatever where we think we're at the board game convention or whatever.
That's what it would become. We would get there and be like, okay, the name of the game is we're just going to shoot so much content down here.
100%. Be like, where's Jeff Keighley?
Right.
The
Be
whole
on
time.
camera for 3 seconds with us. Thank you.
Just constantly look for Keighley and call it a day.
The search for Keighley.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I'm not mad about it. I'm actually kind of glad that it's gonna be digital, because I feel like when they do digital like digital conventions, they put more effort into it, and it looks a lot better and it's a lot cooler, and they put more production into it.
Yeah.
Similarly, Hasbro, the toy company, did that with their convention where they showed off all the new shit coming and whatnot. And it was really cool because it was hosted by the regular chick that normally hosts it, and then the dude who was in Holes, Zero, him, he hosted it with them.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at names, to be honest. But he was hosting it with her, and like they just like were like the hype guys in between and would read the chat when they're setting up the next video, and then the next video would come out and you get like high res images like here's this new thing that's coming out, here's this new thing that's coming out. And it was like, it's just better, as opposed to being like, we're in person and we're talking about this with a bunch of investors here. Like,
right.
It's better. You put more production value into it. You have a better time. It's more talking to the chat and the fans and the people that are actually going to buy the shit. Same thing with the games. And it's going to be a better time, I think. So I hope that y'all are ready for it, because we'll be streaming it, obviously, because that's what we do.
So we do.
You got to figure out when it is.
I know. Usually what, first week of June? Usually?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think Sony shows up, or are they going to continue to do their own thing like they did this year, which was very successful for them?
I think they don't have to. That's the one thing.
If they don't show up, I think Sony is done showing up at E3.
Yeah. And at least until it becomes physical again, if that makes sense. Because I think, here's the thing, even though the digital outlet is better, I think eventually they'll want to have people come again, because ticket sales equal money. So, and everyone wants money. If they become a physical convention again to show off all this stuff at E3, I could see Sony dipping their toes back in, at least next year. Yeah. Like if they decide this year we're not doing it again because we do our own state of plays and those are better and we don't need you, sure, fine. But next year, let's just say everyone decides, hey, I'm going to go get a shot. I'm going to go wear a mask for a bit and then we're going to be fine. Let's say that all happens magically, which won't. And the world's back to normal. And they're like, hey, E3 2023 in person. I could see Sony being like, okay, this is the moment to make a little bit of a comeback. Nothing grand, but just be like, yeah, we're here, bitches. As opposed to online, because they don't need to online. Right. They have their own online platform that works. So they don't need to make a effort at all.
True.
I was actually surprised that they were at CES, if I'm being honest. Like, to show off PSVR 2 at CES as opposed to fucking a state of play of their own. Like, what?
I didn't expect them to be there.
Yeah. Especially to announce the game alongside of it that's Horizon. Like, it's weird to me, because it's like, that is something that you could have done on your own stream, not going to CES. Like, I get Sony's going to be there because, they got to sell their fucking TVs and
all the
cameras.
Other electronics.
Yeah. Like, sure. But, like, you don't show off your electronics for your gaming console there that you have state of plays for that do better. Like, that's dumb. Like, this is an investor convention more so.
But it's probably because of the reason you said. CES is Consumer Electronics Show, so they're already there. Like you said, to sell their TVs and stuff. So they're probably like, well, I mean, we're here.
Yeah.
Might as well make a big splash. I think that, I don't know, man. If they don't show up to Digital E3 this year, I think they're done with E3, because I remember us even making the point, like, if they would have showed up to E3 with what they did at their Sony conference,
it would have
demolished E3.
Yeah.
Like Xbox won this year's E3. Last 100%. Year's E3. But if Sony would have showed up with all that shit, that God of War, that Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, if they just showed up with all that, there's no contest.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
I
would
don't
have
know,
been
man. Sony, I think,
insane.
kind of is enjoying owning their own event.
Oh, 100%. I'm curious to see what goes on with it. Same thing with what's it called? Summer Games Fest. That's another thing that
Yeah.
Keeley does now every other year. Or no, he does it every year now, but
Summer Games
the
Fest is
middle
like right.
portion.
It's in during E3, right? It's like right before it or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's
Or
like
right
the
after it. I
preemptive
forgot.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we streamed it. I think.
Yeah.
That we were official co-streamers for that. Not E3, right? That was what it was.
Yeah, we didn't get E3.
Yeah, we didn't get E3, but we got
Keely always looks out for us.
Keely. We got Keely.
Right.
Fucking sellout motherfucker. Goddamn stupid fucking Elder Scrolls game.
My pod friend.
My pot. Oh, Forza, best game. Cargo bleep.
Chevy. Sponsor.
You see the thing right there?
I do. I've noticed
right
it back there.
Yeah. Right below the sign. Hell yeah.
Cargo room.
Cargo room. You'll see that soon in GPs.
You know, the backup gift hasn't even come yet.
You're joking.
I'm fucking. It's not. I don't know why this year. It's gonna attack you. We joked about it, but it's going to be a Valentine's Day episode.
Honestly,
here's me showing my love to you.
Did you even ever send the video and stuff, or put it on the drive? Because I don't even remember seeing it.
It should be in there.
I don't know. If it is, it's deep now.
It should be. If not, I mean, I got it, so I can always.
Yeah. All right. Christmas video for context. If
yes.
you don't know what we're talking about, we're working on getting it together.
There's a lot of things
once it's together, I gotta edit it as well. Whew. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got for the news, as far as I know. There's also an announcement that came out for Rainbow Six, the escalation, is that what is it called, right? Yeah. Extraction.
Yeah.
It starts with an E. That was announced to be a day one Xbox Game Pass release, which is very, very fucking cool.
In my opinion. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I would have paid for that game from how much they've showed us.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I'm tired. It's another one of those games where I'm tired of seeing it. Just give me the game already. Mm-hmm. But they've shown me enough where I'm like, I will pay for it.
I'm interested
still.
Yeah.
So there's that. What else is there? Do we have any news posted by the end? Oh yeah. Battlefield is no longer a thing, in my opinion. It doesn't exist in my brain space. But there is one more news story that you posted in the Discord.
I already forgot. Let me go look.
It's about guitars.
About guitars. Quick version. I gotta get to it. There's going to be a new adaptation of Scott Pilgrim, an anime series. It's in the works from UCP and going to be on Netflix. And I am
very excited.
And y'all already know my philosophy. I think all video, even though this isn't necessarily a video, it's a game inspired by, it's a movie inspired by video games, but it's not a video game movie. It's not made from a video game.
Inspired by a video game inspired by a comic, right? Because it was a comic first.
It was a comic, then a movie, then a game.
Wait, the game came after the movie? I thought the game was in between the comic and the movie.
The movie came before the game. Because I remember getting the game and being like, oh yeah, I remember this from the movie.
Oh, that's crazy. I did not know that.
So now it'll be an anime
on Netflix.
On Netflix. An anime sponsored by a movie that was sponsored by a comic that also had a video game.
I'm excited for that, to say the least.
But y'all know my philosophy. I think all games should become animes at some point.
Oh, 100%.
Even though this became a game after a movie, I think this still works so well with this story as an anime.
Yeah. To be fair, I feel like the movie itself, in
very
general,
anime-esque.
Was an anime, just with some hella white people. Like, you know, like that's just
super live
much
action white people.
Like it was literally just like, hey, let's put some white people in an anime, and like, but they kind of did it in a way where it worked. Like like Michael Cera is he's Wonder Bread. Like
Yeah.
like he's super Wonder Bread. And that's not even a dig per se. It's just
Right.
that's who he is. But like you put Michael Cera Wonder Bread in these anime ass situations, it's just it works in
Yes.
such a weird way where it's like you're not dishonoring anime, but you're also doing something that's kind of funny but also cool at the same time. Oh, it's so good. The only thing I didn't like about that movie was what's his name? Fuck. Can't remember the name. Shit. I didn't really like his one of the exes. I forget what his name is. The one with
Which
the white
one?
hair with the bass playing.
Oh shit, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, he's in like a couple CW shows, and he was Superman once. I didn't like his character. Like it was just like a little dumb to me. Like he was supposed to be dumb because he was like, I'm vegan, but then he had like fettuccine Alfredo or some shit like that. Or I forget what the fuck it was that he had that was like, dude, that's not vegan. Like,
And he destroys him.
He's like, oh, and then they like, fuck off. Like, come on, man. It just wasn't great.
He also had pre-Captain America Chris Evans in there.
That, which is ironic because his was almost the same level of stupid, but like in a fun way. Like him grinding down God knows how many stairs and like just racking up the points the whole time, and then it just cuts to like fucking Michael Cera. Wow, just looking at him, waiting for him to get to the bottom. Such a good movie.
It was.
But yeah, man, I'm excited for that. Anything anime is good in my books. Next up, do we have any questions this week? And I think we do have a couple. I mean, technically, we got one question: is when are we gonna get some more GS5 content?
Yo, he really wants that GS5 content.
To be fair, we did stream with it. We did the unboxing. I think that was 2 weeks prior to before we've been digital since then.
Yeah.
So like we had 1 week after that in which we played an actual game, I think, and then digital. And holidays. So we haven't had a chance to necessarily delve back into the GS5. I do find it funny though that there's a new viral video going around about it, and it's like, I spent $400 on Wish for this, and then they launch it and it does the Nintendo 60. I thought it was a Nintendo.
No, it was GameCube
because it does the. But then like, that's not what it does.
No, I think, and a part of me was confused when I was like, maybe that's the joke. It has to be.
I'm pretty sure they just played a YouTube video of the GameCube intro and just hit the power button. That too, like, and that it's one of those things where it irritated me because I'm like, it's more funny to me to show what it actually has on it, like the Angry Birds and the fucking Sonic. Like,
to be fair, I would be more impressed if you turned it on and it was a GameCube. I'm like, whoa, how they fit a GameCube in here?
But also like that, I don't know, man. We gotta mess with the GS5 more. I feel like we could capitalize off of that virality a little bit.
I feel like what we have, I'm not disagreeing, you're right, but what we have is also pretty good.
Yeah. I'll make a TikTok of like the unboxing real quick, and then like I don't even think I grabbed clips from the stream. Now that I think about it,
that's what I mean. I thought I was meaning like getting a little bit of the clip from the stream.
I don't think I've clipped anything.
Because we have the content. We have GS5 content.
I gotta make sure that that's how long ago that was. Maybe the Twitch like VOD is still there, hopefully, but
I don't think it's been a whole month. We might be coming up on it.
Yeah, I'll have to get to that soon. I still haven't even clipped anything from my streams in a while. I've literally been exclusively clipping your streams just because I'm like, I don't want to go back and watch my streams because like, even with Artful Escape, I'm like, that game, I don't think there's anything super clippable from it that's like worth the damn. The VR streams, the only thing that's clippable is when I punch something, but I don't want to search for that. That's like a specific moments, you know?
How come you don't put up your any clips from your showing off your figures?
I haven't really thought of it, to be honest. Plus, I also ramble a lot, so I would have to clip it and then edit it at the same time.
Okay, well,
So it's just like it would be a lot.
less work. It's more work than you want to do.
Yeah, as
I feel
opposed to
like that's
like
what I'm
short,
usually doing.
snappy shit.
I'm pretty rambly when I'm playing these old games.
True, but like there's bits where I can be like that right there. It's a nice 15-second bit, like right there, as opposed to me being like, this is a cool figure because 80 reasons, you know.
I think my worst stream was the Tiny Toons and then the duck game, that Maui Mallard game. I was like, even as I was doing it, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm having fun. I think I'm just playing these games.
Yeah. As honestly, you just gotta find something that's fun for you. Like I like the RPG one because like it looks like you're actually enjoying yourself as opposed to doing it just because is Mario and OG. And like the cool thing is too is like you don't also have to play exclusively OG games. Like you could be like, this is an OG stream where I play not OG shit if you wanted to, in theory.
Oh well, I got some stuff. I think I'm just I think the OG stream works because I've been playing these games some for like 20 plus years, like almost 30 years.
Yeah.
So for me to go back and play them now is almost like nothing. It's easy for me to do. It's comfort food for me.
True.
And then there's an audience who has never even seen these games.
Yeah.
So it's easy. Like I enjoy doing it. Like there's of course I could play newer games, but I think it would be entertaining on a level differently if I play these old ones. There's a different kind of entertainment level to it. For the newer games I could play, it'll be entertaining for a different reason. It'd be like, all right, don't expect me to like move flawlessly through any of these.
I feel like that'd be interesting too, though. I mean, you normally stream at least 2 times a week now. I at least try to. So one could be your OGs with the OG, and then one could be OG. I don't know a creative name.
The Noji streams.
The Noji streams where you finally play Ghost of Tsushima for fuck's sake.
I know.
Or Halo. Or just touch Halo once.
I need to. I have these little retro consoles here that are like just sitting here. They're in pristine condition. I'm playing them. My PS5 and my Series X is just over there, just cold and dusty.
Yeah, I don't think. To be fair, I think you haven't touched your PS5 since what did we play last on that? Fuck. It was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
The Xbox was more recent with like Forza, I think, and that was it. Damn.
I'm gonna have to play some modern day video games
soon. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of the modern in with the sprinkle in the old G's, you know?
Yeah.
Just sprinkles, you know, just little. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to play it for long. You could play like, oh, I'm going to play an hour of Ghost of Tsushima, and then you switch over to OG shit if you wanted to. You have options.
True.
You have the technology.
But I also think that's not a hindrance, but like there's so many options now.
Oh, yeah.
That it's just like I'm paralyzed by the options.
Oh, 100%.
To the point where it's just like, I'm going to just play something I know. And I just go back to like the comfort food games.
Yep. I feel that. That's pretty much where I'm at with like shows and shit. Like I don't want to watch new TV shows because I'm like, I don't want to become a fan of this new thing and then have to follow this. And then like, say if it's a thing that has collectibles, like Ryan was like, you got to watch this Gundam anime. And I'm like, here's the thing, dude. It could be the best anime ever. It could be. And that's fine. But if I watch it and I like it, then I'm buying Gundams too. And I already buy enough shit.
I have a problem.
Like I know me.
Habit.
Like that's the like I know me. Like I have fucking Google Docs lists that are rules to what I collect. That's how much of a problem I have that I have to control myself. So I'm like, if I have a rule list where I have to actually write something down to be like, if it doesn't fit in here, I'm not getting it. I can't just willy-nilly watch things that are probably good. Like The Boys.
You can't stop yourself. You can't watch it and just enjoy that for what it is.
No. The only one that I've been able to successfully do that with is like Netflix. I think it's Netflix, right? The Boys. No, Amazon Prime. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They came out with figures for that. and there's one of Homelander, and there's one of I don't know what her name is. Fuck, the girl with
I know what you're talking
the
about. I don't remember her name though.
with Starlight.
That sounds about right.
Starbright. Anyway, it's a good song. Starlight, Starbright.
Yup.
I'm feeling you. Anyway, but
We're
they came
musical
out with
now.
figures on them, and they look great. Like they look fucking phenomenal. Like you got the Homelander one, and he comes with an alternate head where his pupils are literally drilled out holes, and you can plug in like laser eyes, and it looks dope. I stopped myself. So I'm like, no,
We're proud of you.
I'm not doing it. But like I watched The Mandalorian and I'm like, I need all the figures from I have a shelf dedicated to The Mandalorian right there. Like I have the Mando helmet right there, which has 2 versions of the Mandalorian in it, and then I have a Mandalorian shelf that has 2 versions of the Mandalorian on it over there as well, with all the side characters.
You can't stop yourself.
Because I'm just like, it's just that good. And then I have like Invincible. Invincible's amazing as well. I got those 2 figures, the fucking Invincible and Omni-Man. Those things are fucking lit. They come with a fucking baseball glove set, dude. I can have a father-son baseball catch with superheroes. One of the accessories is still on my desk. It is a baseball on a stand flying at a fast speed. It's like fire. A clear effect on a stand. And I'm just like, now I need all of them. They're coming out with a robot and a fucking Adam Eve soon. Guess who's pre-ordered it already?
I
have a problem.
I do not envy when you have to move.
When I have to move,
yes,
it's gonna be a problem because I have 2 3D printers, 2 Detolfs, and then all of this shit on the wall.
You're gonna need some help.
I'm gonna need to invest in Ziploc, the bag company. But needless to say, besides my problems, we have a problem in which this podcast is almost 2.5 hours long right now, and we still have to answer fucking questions from the Discord.
True that. All right,
it's 12 a.m. on a Sunday.
And I'm fucking starving. I don't even think I ate anything.
Jesus Christ. So let's not necessarily run through it fast, but we'll do it fast.
We'll do it.
We'll fast.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So go with Kev's.
Kev's question. Our good old pal, that one guy Kev asks, with Game Passes becoming more popular and Netflix dipping into gaming, how far away do you think we are from console gaming going the way of the arcade and phasing out? I don't see consoles phasing out, but I do see them maybe becoming. There's going to be a whole lot of streaming in video game future. I think consoles might decrease in size. You might get something that's big enough to house like upgradable memory and you just download shit to it.
I'm waiting for the day that PlayStation and Xbox aren't consoles anymore, and they're just like thumb drives that you plug into your PC.
That's kind of what
allow you to play PlayStation games. Like it's almost like a crack code, like some torrenting.
I could see Xbox doing that. I think PlayStation would be too worried about people hacking into its interface and its.
To be fair, Xbox doesn't need to. They have Game Pass on PC, and it's fucking amazing. I only have 2 games downloaded on it, but I still love it.
Hey, you're right. But that's the same reason I don't think Nintendo would do that either. And I think Nintendo's
stuck in their ways, man. They will never change.
But I think they put too much. They have too much invested in the handheld market, and they dominate that market. So I don't see them doing it. You might get a device, kind of how the Switch Lite is, where, well, no, because I feel like they'll always hook it up to a TV. So I don't think I think it'll become seamless like that. You might be able to beam it to a television. You might not need hardware in order to do it.
Casting.
Yeah, you might be able to cast it, and all the technology will be upgraded to the point where it'll still be like 4K gaming. But I don't see and you might be able to upgrade the memory of it, like I said. But I think the consoles are going to just become conduits to hook up to their network.
Yeah.
It might be big enough for a memory stick, but you might just be plugging it into your TV in order to get access to the network and your account.
Yeah.
And your friends.
I feel that. I feel like the thing that's going to get phased out before the actual consoles itself is definitely just going to be like actual physical copies of games, which ironically will lead into the next question. But it's one of those things where it's kind of sad because like I think physical games are still something that I love to get. But at the same time, I say that and I can't tell you the last physical game I got besides the Pokemon one of the relaunch one, but even that I would have been fine with the digital because there's no reason to own the physical because there's no allure to them anymore. There's no collectability. Right. It's just like a case that kind of is okay. Nothing inside of it besides the disc or even a tiny little cartridge that comes with nothing. So I feel like the thing that's going to end up happening is just everything's going to be completely digital and it's going to be like the size of like a Chromecast or like an Apple TV where it's like a little tiny box that you plug into your TV or a USB stick and like that's your PlayStation, that's your Xbox, and you just got to switch to the right HDMI and it's like, oh cool, this is your account. You don't have to necessarily download the games anymore. Like I feel like eventually it will end up moving to like what's the thing called where like you stream your games? I forget what it's called. PlayStation has it. PlayStation Now, where it's like you're playing through
like a cloud service.
A cloud service. Yeah. And like it still saves all your shit. It still runs great, but obviously that's not anywhere close to right now, but that's where it's leading to. Yeah. Like that's what that was made for, is to test if we can get there eventually. So instead of selling all these extravagant consoles and shit, they can just sell more games and like just make money on that and then not have to worry about not having the chip sizes needed for a PS5 or like going after third-party companies for making plates, you know, like.
My only thing is, how do we power it? Like,
it's just because it's powered by the HDMI. That's what a Chromecast does.
Because I'm thinking of like, you know how these consoles got like teraflops and all that shit? Yeah. It was like, well, how do we get around that unless we just get to a place where they can operate without all that stuff? But I guess that would be the cloud.
Yeah, that would be the cloud. I feel like that's literally it. Like everything is end up going to that. And I don't think that's a good idea because I mean, it's going to lead to problems where it's like, what happens if, you know, everything just goes out one day, you know, like fucking the guy in the room turns off the switch and all the internet's gone, right? What happens then? True. You know, you can't plug a disc in anymore, then games are done. All you got left is to blow into your N64 cartridges that you have left over.
But that's why I said whatever these future quote unquote consoles are, have to at least be big enough to house upgradable memory. Because then you're gonna have to download shit to your mini console. And you're going to have to be able to play them offline. They would have to have the wherewithal. Like, if you're going to take physical games from us, then everything has to have the ability to be played offline. Everything.
But at the same time, most games are leading towards not that anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know where they're going to find that balance.
Yeah. It's going to be a long... to be fair, not in our lifetime, I don't think, which is the crazy part.
I think in our lifetime, yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think in our lifetime we're going to get to a point where everything is cloud-based gaming or like consoles are the size of a thumbstick. I don't think so.
Technology's moving so quickly. You don't think in 60 years?
I think they have the technology to do it now. I just don't think they're selling it to us. Because that's the technology they have right now and like the options they have the ability to do it. It's just they don't have the resources. Or they don't want
production.
That, and either that or in general they don't want to, because if they do, then they need to innovate on that. And why would they need to innovate on that when they can just slowly roll out shit and make money over time, as opposed to being like there could be literal abilities to attach fucking matrix things to the back of our skulls and plug us into something as of this point, in theory. But
Right.
if they did that, then why would anyone need a PS5? You wouldn't need it.
True.
You wouldn't need VR because you'd be in it. There's no reason for it. Obviously, that's a big,
Yeah.
extravagant hyperbole. But like, there's technology that exists that we don't know about because we don't need to know about it yet. Like, and the world's not ready for it. Like, you're not ready for VR to the point where you're actually in the game full body,
Yeah.
Like,
I,
you're.
I think we're going to see a very major stride in the next generation. I think by the year 2022, by the 2040s, I think we'll be kind of close to that. Not Matrix close, but like the idea that we were talking about originally close.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a hard question to answer because it's a lot of what ifs, but at the same time, I feel like we just don't know what we have. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, until I don't think it's gonna be in our lifetime that ever happens. But when it does happen, I'll be dust.
Or you'll feel like it at the very least.
I already feel like dust right now. I'm gonna feel like dust tomorrow. I'll tell you that at work.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Dude, my fucking mom texted me. She's like, it's 12:04, right? And I'm like, yes, I have 2 clocks on my computer. I have 2 screens. What do you mean?
Is she telling you to shut the fuck up?
No, she's like, you off from work tomorrow or something? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm busy. This is work, mother.
Yes, this is what I focus on.
Yes. But slightly going off of the last question, we got a new question from Uniguff this week. He asks, how do you guys feel about pre-order promotions in recent years? Like, if you pre-order Pokemon Arceus, you get 10 heavy Pokeballs for free, which is, if you do that's the digital version. There are options to get different stuff if you get it from GameStop, and there's different stuff to get it from the Pokemon Center as well, if you look into that. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but if you want to ask someone, ask Ryan, he'll know.
Got it.
I feel like they used to be way cooler back in the day, but I could have just been 12 and it seemed way cooler back for that reason alone. I don't think you're wrong at all. I think the biggest mistake for physical game collecting / options was when they first decided to stop giving us booklets and manuals for the game. With original art, different like explanations of how to play the game. Like, I understand that the tutorial is in the game, but back in the day, the tutorial was in the game as well too. You didn't have to read the booklet to fucking play the game. They did a tutorial in there as well. It was just a cool little booklet that gave on the side that showed that they actually gave a shit about the game.
Right.
Not just fucking warnings about eating the cartridge for a Nintendo Switch or something.
Don't eat it.
But as far as pre-order bonuses go, even like when I was in high school, I feel like they were better. Like, you would wait in line and do midnight releases for like Modern Warfare 3.
Those are
and like
days.
You would get steel books that were great. You would get in-game content like different like skins and stuff, or like weapons, and like you would get pre-order bonuses alongside of that. But like nowadays, it's literally just like, if a game doesn't have a pre-order bonus, it's insane. Like, it's dumbfounding.
Yeah. It's weird for me personally. Because I typically don't care about any of that. But I think that depends on, I don't know, where you are in your life. Like, I remember getting Grand Theft Auto 4, the big pre-order one, and you got like a little like lockbox, you got like a duffel bag, and you got like art, you got an album, the music in the game.
That's the one that you have on your shelf, right?
Oh yeah, that's the one that's still sitting there. Like, those are the kind of pre-order bonuses we're talking about, right? Or is that just a special edition? I think that's just a
I
special edition.
I mean, even special editions, I would consider that as well, because I feel like the special
Mhm.
editions nowadays kind of suck too. Like if you
Mhm.
look at Last of Us 2, and we only know this because of our previous co-host, he got
Yeah.
the special edition and he got this statue of Ellie,
Hmm.
and me being like, "Oh, I like collectibles and shit." I'm like, "Oh, let's see it once it finally gets out of the box." And I beat the game. Both beat the you beat the game as well.
We did.
Like 2 months prior to this dude even fucking unboxing the statue, ironically.
Hmm.
And fucking he finally gets out of the box and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this never happens in the game. Like
I didn't even realize
she's
that.
she's wearing a completely different outfit, playing a guitar that's not at all in the game where she's wearing that outfit, and she's got a bow and arrow. And I'm like, she doesn't have this bow and arrow when she's at this part of the game. This is inaccurate as fuck.
Do you think they did that to stop spoilers?
No, because that wouldn't spoil anything. If you just put her in the correct outfit, like I'm pretty sure the guitar was I don't off the top of my head. I think it was the guitar from the music shop in the city, I think.
Mhm.
So if it's that guitar, then she should be wearing like pants and a jacket. She was wearing like a cut off like shirt and like pants, and like her hair was in a ponytail. Like she did not look like she looked like in that scene,
Got it.
which is fine because I mean I guess things change as games go on, but like if it's a pre-order bonus, it should be a thing from the game, right?
I agree with that.
Like there was the pre-order bonus for the special edition of God of War. It came with, I think, it was like a statue of the one dude that you fight at the beginning, right? Uh Punchy guy.
I
Skinny
don't.
guy.
I know what you're talking about.
But it was a statue of him and a statue of Kratos and Boy.
Hmm.
And it's accurate to the game. Like,
Yeah.
how can you get it right there, but you can't get it right for a game that came afterwards? Like
True.
it just progressively gets worse. I remember it did it for Spider-Man as well, which pissed me off because I wanted the special edition because Spider-Man guy, and it was a statue, and the only part of the statue that they showed was the top portion because the top portion was Spider-Man, and the bottom portion was every single member of the Sinister Six, which spoils like
Yeah.
the whole entire game. And the way they advertised the statue was they showed Spider-Man and there was a giant black box that says spoilers for game. And I'm like, that doesn't help anybody because now I don't know what I'm paying for. So I
True.
don't want to do that. And then two, if I do buy this, I want to see it because I bought it. So I'm not going to be able to see it for like X amount of time.
I had
To
to
be
go
fair,
play the game.
yeah. To be fair, I platinumed the game in 2 days. So I would have seen it pretty quick, but whatever.
But
Either
yeah,
way,
someone like me, I'd be like, well, don't know what I'm seeing
I'm
the
never
bottom
seeing
of this
this.
thing. So
I'm never opening this soundtrack for this game.
yeah, right. I don't know. I
But
think as far as pre-order bonuses go, and me, what was the question? Like, how did he word the question? Like, what do we think of them in
they're just
general?
shit now, pretty
How do you
much.
feel
Like, do
about
we think
pre-order
that they're
promotions
not good
in
anymore?
recent years? I don't pre-order. I don't pre-order. Well, I do, but I don't. Like, I don't really care about the pre-order bonus anymore,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's just. I think they're very. Like, I don't feel like we need them. But then again, you're talking to somebody who doesn't beat everything,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm not out here trying to get like I'm not trying to platinum anything. For me,
True.
just beating the game is like, all right, ultimate achievement done for me is I beat it. I made it to the end.
Yeah.
Like me beating Last of Us 2, I was like, I beat it. No one's in the room. Just like, yeah, I beat that. I have to go talk to you guys during the podcast. Like, I beat it.
Yeah.
I beat that. I beat Miles Morales. Like me just making it to the end of something for me now.
That's
is
the
great.
accomplishment.
That's the accomplishment. But it used to be different. Like I used to go aim for everything. I used to go 100% stuff. There's still games I do that in, but I don't necessarily care about the extra stuff. Like Breath of the
Mhm.
Wild. Could beat that game. Any major Nintendo game that's Zelda or Mario, I'm going to beat it.
Mhm.
And I'm going to beat it and get everything I need to get the best ending. For instance, in Breath of the Wild, you have to go find these like moments all over the map. because if you get all the special moments and you relive them, you get the real like ending.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I could have went and got all the Korok scenes, like 100% of everything. I didn't 100% everything. I didn't beat every mission. I just got enough to get the full ending, and that was fine for me.
Feel that.
Mario, on the other hand, it's a totally different kind of game, and I played that shit. I 100% of that game, everything, collected everything,
Nice.
because I'm just a fucking Mario freak.
Simp. Simp
Yes,
is the correct word.
that is the term. Mario is Captain Save-A-Ho, then I don't know what I am, because I'm on another level. I'm saving Mario. But anyway, my point is, I don't really care about it. Really, like all those.
Mm-hmm.
We bought the big expensive version of fuck was it? The game that won the awards. And we were like, what?
The game that won the awards.
The game that Donkey was talking about, where you could just kick people.
Deathloop.
Deathloop. I don't know why I can remember it, probably because I don't play it anymore. I bought that big the what $70 version of that game. I didn't even interact with any of that shit.
To be fair, I don't think you got far enough to not to like come at. You have to get like 2 hours into the game.
But that's my point. That's why it's like I'm not the person who's going to care about any of that shit.
True. Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I lost out or anything.
Yeah. I feel you. I just feel like they're not really worth it nowadays too. Like if you look at the Pokemon one as an example, you get what he said 10 heavy balls if you pre-order it, and that's just the digital pre-order. To be fair, there's other bonuses for other places, like outfits and whatnot, I think too. But like even those, like cosmetics is whatever. I don't care per se, but at the same time it's nice to have the option there. Like for the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut. Like I pre-ordered that so I could get all the new shit, and I pre-ordered it. I don't know, I didn't pre-order. I missed out on the pre-order bonus for that because I forgot it existed when it first came out. But like just 10 heavy balls is really nothing, because in theory you can get that same amount of heavy balls in game if you just play the game. Like it's not like this is the only way to get heavy balls is to pre-order. Right. It just gives you a little bit of a bonus at the beginning that you don't really need, and you just have them. It's whatever. As far as like actual physical assets that you get as a human being, like I remember back when I used to get pre-order bonuses for like the original Pokemon games, like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. You got like commemorative coins for the game, and like each one had like it was like this green like almost like portal, and you would rotate it and it would show the legendary Pokemon in the middle, and it was gold, and it had like the logo on the back. And I remember how cool they were. It was such a cool thing to have as like a collectible. I got this game and I pre-ordered it and made sure I got my copies. I got both of them, as opposed to now where it's like you don't really get much anymore. Like I think for the Diamond and Pearl remakes or whatever the fuck they're called, you got like a sticker set from GameStop. Like that's fucking garbage. Like you're telling me you're giving me like stickers that are a one-time fuck off. Like like even like pin sets, like those sell out so fast too. Like you go in there and they're like, oh yeah, we have a limited stock of these pin sets. Back in the day they would say that it was limited, but then you could walk in and just grab whatever the fuck you wanted. Like for Destiny 2, I got like a little Cade 6 statue that's like kind of looks like a Funko but isn't. And I remember I walked in, I was like, hey, I pre-ordered online, and do I get that in my shipment? And the guy literally opened the drawer, took one out, and threw it at me. She's like, here you go. Just gave it to me. Didn't check if I actually bought it. Didn't say anything.
It's not special anymore.
Exactly. But then nowadays, it's like you pre-ordered a game. You're lucky if you get fucking any digital content. You're lucky if you get anything that's worth a damn. So it's definitely gotten worse over the years, and it's not going to get better.
I think the last time I cared that much about pre-ordering a game in order to get a special version of it was Nintendo 64. Because if you pre-ordered Zelda Ocarina of Time, you got the gold cartridge. If you didn't pre-order it, you would just get the regular gray cartridge. And then they did the same thing with Majora's Mask. And I would always make sure to tell my mom, like if they were Christmas gifts or something, I'd be like, you have to go pre-order it at Toys R Us so I can get the gold cartridge. And it was almost like the game itself was the dope thing. I mean, nowadays you don't see them anyway because games go inside the systems.
Yeah.
But I always felt like it was so dope to see my gold cartridge sticking out of my Nintendo 64.
That's like the steelbook of today, pretty much. But like even those are kind of shit now too. Like I remember the first steelbook I ever got was for Assassin's Creed 3, and I loved it because it was awesome. Like it had the assassin on the front with his like Native American tomahawk about to fucking destroy a fucking redcoat. Just fucking belligerently make this man regret his existence. And it was amazing. And now the most recent steelbook that I've gotten is for Marvel's Avengers.
Good old Marvel's Avengers.
No other games have even had it as an option for me, except for that one. That one, the steelbook's okay, comparatively to the regular card, but like it's nothing crazy, nothing worth a damn, you know. So, I mean, I agree. Pre-order bonuses kind of suck, and it's annoying because I get pissed off when they ask me if I want to pre-order something at GameStop, and like especially if I'm not there for a game. I'm like, why are you asking me this? Like, no offense, but like if I'm there and I'm buying an action figure, don't ask me if I want to fucking pre-order a game. If I'm buying a controller, don't ask me if I want to pre-order a game. If I'm buying a game that's similar to another game that's coming out, sure. If I'm buying Call of Duty whatever number in the millions that there are, don't ask me if I want to pre-order Pokemon. You fucking dum-dums. Like it's a like, are you dumb? But
you say all that shit to him, like, are you an idiot? I'm buying Call of Duty. You're asking about Pokemon. But anyway, yes, I'd like to pre-order that. Thank you.
To be fair, I'd rather play Pokemon than Call of Duty as of this point. But it's just one of those things where it's like they don't understand. Like they just don't care. Right. They're just there to get pre-orders because if they don't, they get in trouble. I understand. It's just one of those things where being a person who has worked in a situation like that, I would not ask people because I'm like, you're not going to want to pre-order anything. I'm not going to waste your time because then you'll come back next time. And if you actually want to pre-order something, you will. Because that's how fucking customer service works.
Exactly.
As opposed to being like, let me force all of this shit down your throat. Buy our company credit card for this company that you only shop at once a fucking year. Not doing it.
No. Well, Lucas, there you have it.
Yeah. But to be fair, Lucas, if you haven't pre-ordered yet, I would say reach out to Ryan to ask him where you should pre-order from, because I think there's different bonuses from different places. So there's at least one that I think is worth it, but I don't remember what store it's from. But I still have to pre-order Arceus, I think. No, maybe I think I have that pre-ordered at GameStop. No. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did want to get that, didn't I?
I mean, you've been clamoring about it. That this is the Pokemon that you've wanted to play since you were a kid.
No, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play it. I'm at least going to get it because I talked all that shit.
I really feel like you need to stream this game because like this is the Pokemon that you wanted since you were a kid that you've said.
I'm just
I need raw reaction.
The closer it gets, the more I'm like, this better be the game that I've wanted since I was.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's gonna be that game where it's like
gonna be Breath of the Pokemon.
Well, I mean, it is and it isn't because it's still turn-based combat. So there's that, and like it doesn't. I don't know. There's never gonna be that Pokemon that exists that's like the perfect Pokemon, at least till we're dead.
A lot of things happen when it's gonna be lit when we're dead.
Yeah, apparently. I hope they got fucking GS5s in heaven.
You're gonna get there, and I'm gonna be like, I left the GS5 warm for you. Come on in.
Ready to play some Sonic.
Right. Just play this Harry Potter, the game that never existed on NES. As a product that came out after NES was long dead.
Yeah, man. It's a time. But as always, thank you guys for listening to this long episode of the Save Before Quitting podcast. It seems like the digital episodes end up being the longest somehow.
We got it.
And
we got it back to video games.
To be fair, yeah. Once the news is actually video games, that's what happens.
Yeah, true.
But thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and over on YouTube at Save the Letter B, the number 4 quitting titty. You could also email us, savebeforequitting, fully spelled out, at gmail.com, and our website, savebeforequitting, fully spelled out.com, where you can pick up merch and see our Twitch streams and look at our other social media and join the Discord, which you can do from the link in our bio. Super simple to join in the conversation, especially if you've gotten this long in the podcast and gotten to the end. Join the conversation. Some dope NGPs over in there, some new people in the past couple weeks that are really cool and good additions to the community, and definitely we appreciate y'all.
We do.
Other than that, I don't know what else there is to do. It is 12:40 at night. You haven't eaten. I have to be up in 5 hours.
Same.
So there's not much left to do besides to save before quitting. And we'll see you next week if we make it through this one.
Yep. That's been our lives.
There it is.
There it is. And there it goes.
Oh,
and there
man.
It went. And there's the hose. And there, I can't keep rhyming.
I don't know what to say to them.
Just dancing off set. I'm still on cam.
I was going to say, your headphones worked against you there. You just got to take the headphones off and then just like slowly dip away. I can't do that. I got carpet. You got the hardwood, so you're lucky.
Downstairs.
You can still see.
God damn it.
All of it. Your ass. Just look in the camera.
This is the ass section of the show where it gets cheeky.
That stinks.
But the show must go on.
Sphincter.
End. That's it. I ain't beating that.
Oh, shit.